For EP, climbing walls and handholds is our business, but that's really not why we're here. We're here to enrich people's lives and introduce climbing to the world. We know that once somebody gets an opportunity to go indoors and climb on a climbing wall, that they're going to be hooked and they're going to be a climber for life.
Welcome to Vail in sunny Colorado. We're part of the GoPro Mountain Games here, and we've already had a tremendous past few days. GoPro Mountain Games contains lots of events taking place here in Vail, Colorado. We've got biking, kayaking, running, lots of family-orientated competitions, and some pretty strange ones as well. I was watching some slackline championships taking place, which basically was tightroping with people doing lots of funny tricks on the rope as well. All part of an absolutely fantastic weekend of events here. You see the kayaking on the screen, and that river is fierce. I was chatting to one in reception this morning at the hotel, and he was saying it was absolutely fierce out there. Really good competition. There's a bit of a slacklining. He's obviously a beginner because he's not jumping around the place. It's good to see they've got safety in mind as well. Look at this. She's doing the splits on the tightrope. There's a big family community. This is my favorite one, the dog jumping. How can you not be a dog lover and not love this? There's a lot of very wet dogs walking around Vail right at this very moment in time. They seem to absolutely love it. And we've absolutely loved it here. It's the big ticket item. We've had walls for the kids. This is the big ticket item, and the arena is absolutely packed here. And this is the IFSC World Cup 2014 in Vail. It's stop number 6. We're at Mountain Plaza, or at Gondola 1, I'm told, which is where we are in Vail, if you know the skiing area here. And with me, I'm very pleased to say, Alex Johnson, by popular request. Alex, welcome back.
Hi, thanks. It's great to be back.
It's absolutely great to have you here. And tell us, you actually competed in this event. Tell me about your qualification.
I did. I competed yesterday, and those of you who are, well, I guess you couldn't watch yesterday, but it didn't go so well. You know, people have off days. I definitely had an off day, and I was watching all day today. So now I get to hang out here and talk with you.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a good second place. But I suppose the thing is, by losing in qualification, somebody said to me when they went out for qualification, said, well, at least I had the whole day today to enjoy the mountain games. And, you know, you've probably done the same. You've been relaxed and you've been able to enjoy yourself.
Yep, yeah, this is a great event. It's my favorite event of the year. There's so much going on. I've been watching kayaking and biking and, of course, the dock dogs. So, I mean, I didn't get to compete today, and it's a huge bummer, but I wasn't bored.
Absolutely. Well, competition is absolutely fierce. A number of Americans made it through, but it was so tight as well, the competition. And there's a little bit of footage we've got here to just show from the semi-finals, which, you know, is quite incredible to see. We had issues, and hopefully we'll get it up in a second. But we had, you know, we had climbers. Here we go. This was, what was this? Alex Puccio, yes. So Alex, now her foot slips here. She'd have made this in this attempt. She'd have not shown a coxie out and been through to the final.
Honestly, and I was talking with Angie Payne about this earlier, who ended up in 8th place. What it comes down to with these events is perfection. You need to be on 100%. Everything needs to be perfect. Angie Payne is an 8th because she had one foot slip and fell on problem number 1. The same with Puccio. Like, you get knocked out because someone else is on their game, someone else is having a perfect day, and you're not, and that's what it comes down to, is attempts. One attempt gets you out of finals, and the same with Jan here.
Yeah. Now, this was a bonus. Now, he claimed he got the bonus here, and that you see the right leg, he was moving away. The judges didn't give him a bonus. If he'd have been given that bonus on his first attempt, he'd have been in the final.
Yeah, that's a really close call. I don't know. I would hate to be the judge for that climb. To me, it did kind of look like he did it, but...
Top left corner here. Look at Gigi Monday. Now, how close? Now, you're an international class boulderer. That is an incredible thing to stay on.
So close. Yeah, that was crazy.
And yet he went and made it. Now, if he'd have fallen off there, he would have been out the final as well.
Yeah, and that's like I said, what it comes down to is one foot slip.
Absolutely incredible. And you mentioned Angie Payne. We didn't have the video of her, but she was so close. It must be really heartening to see so many Americans doing well, though, coming through and showing, you know, what a great job that US Climbing are currently doing.
Yeah, it's been awesome. We have a great team this year. A lot of really young kids, like 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, and it was a lot of their first first World Cups, and a lot of them made semis, so it was awesome. We had a really great, and for the guys too, the guys had a really good showing. Carlo in 10th, like that's great for Carlo. I think that might be the best he's done.
Yeah. Well, we're just having a little look at the men's leaderboard here, and you can see that there was a stage. Fishuber came over to me and said, I don't think I've qualified, have I? And we were in a little bit of confusion because we weren't getting great data through at the time, so we weren't sure. We had him in 8th at the time. But, you know, look how tight it is. And, you know, the men here, you know, 2 problems in 2 attempts going from 4th to 9th. And it was down to a number of attempts in bonuses at the end of the day for the men.
Yeah, it's so heartbreaking when it's close like that. And they know, you know, I saw Jan and Eula after, both of them who placed 7th today. And they know that it was down to one mistake, whether it was today or yesterday. Eula and Shauna tied in 6th place, and it went to countbacks. So Shauna knocked Eula out, Shauna's in, and that's the most heartbreaking way to get knocked out, is by countbacks, because it means that something you did yesterday, it wasn't even how you climbed today, it was how you climbed the day before, and it's a huge bummer.
There's the men's competition again, more American flags there, four Americans in the second half of the group, and some big names there. Jongwon Chon, who made the final in Toronto, giving it a real good go. And Jorg Verhoeven, of course, is a man we've seen a lot of over the tour. You know, he had a tough time of it out there. If we have a little look at the statistics, actually, which is always a nice... this is what the route setters look at. And I think with the men, they usually like a better spread. There was 2 problems which only 2 climbers managed, and then there was other problems which possibly... So that is not the ideal spread, I think, from a route setting point of view. And that's why we had lots of people tied, and we had to start going to bonuses and countbacks. So, you know, not ideal, but I think the route setters were happy that they set a challenging enough course for the athletes. Let's have a look at the women's, page 1. Now, I've got to ask you this question, Alex. How good is Kia Noguchi? She doesn't even look like an athlete. She's got no bones, you know, no muscles on her. She steps up there and she seems to get to the top of these problems. It's like poetry in motion. She
is an outstanding competitor. To me, she tries harder than anyone. She tries so hard, and you can see it in her face when you see her trying problems and climbing. She's trying harder than anyone else out there, and it shows. Like, she's sitting in first place right now, and it's not that people aren't trying hard, but Akio doesn't stop fighting.
She is incredible. And a quick word here for Megan Mascarenas as well, 16 years old, huh?
She's young, yep. This is her 2nd World Cup ever. I don't think a lot of people should be surprised to see this day coming. All the competitors who've been climbing for a long time, we're not surprised to see Megan in finals. Yeah. She's young, but she's earned it. She's made finals the last 2 years at our ABS Nationals, and she's only getting better. Yeah. You know, we're not surprised.
So 3 Americans in the top 10, and onto the second page, and Miho Nanoka, another youngster, 17-year-old. There was a couple of problem 4 wasn't for her, and you know she's still 17. She's still got to build up a lot of muscle, and she was never going to manage problem number 4 at all. But you can see there's a few big names, and again a lot more American flags making it to the semi-final, which you know was fantastic considering that you know one of the top Americans didn't actually make it through.
It was a tough day, but it was so awesome. I came here at 10 a.m. sharp. The first 4 competitors out. On the women's side were American. I think the first 3 on the men's side were American. So we had a great showing. Yeah.
And let's have a look at the analysis as well. Now, this is a much better spread, and this is, I think, the sort of thing that the route setter's looking for, that only 6 people, top problem 4, there's 8 on 2, and you know, problem 1, traditionally a little bit of a warm-up problem, a little bit of an easier one, but they're still causing a few issues, and of course, out of the 20, only 16 managed to get to the top. Well, it's a great atmosphere here. And we're ready. We're not far away from the athletes coming out. It's about 5 minutes to go. And what we're going to do is something we've not done before. But I think we've always put in the odd interview with somebody we've done in the past. But of course, we're not. We want to try and do something a little bit special, and we want to sort of honour these 6 finalists in both events. So we're going to go through the 6 finalists here. And Shauna Coxey, she's really been in form, but she considers herself very lucky. She tweeted earlier she couldn't believe that she'd made the final.
So generally, I think the Europeans' opinion about the route setting here is that it's more powerful, and it tends to be harder for them coming over. You know, we're at really high elevation. It's got more of an American-style setting, and so for a lot of them, you know, to say that she's surprised she made it, I think she should have more confidence in herself after, like, you know, first, second. But a lot of them do tend to get tired here, and I don't think she's lucky. I think she's talented.
She's only failed to qualify for a final twice in her last 20 events, so she has been extremely consistent. But there's a few rumours that she might even be suffering with a little injury. It's certainly on problem 2. She gave up with a minute and a half to go. Let's go to the next girl, Marine Fevenier of France, 24 years old, and one that's an up and coming. She's certainly made a few finals in her time, and she's going to be one to watch out for. On to the next, Fanny Guibert of France, another one who's based in Paris, of course. They're all born in different places. In fact, Fanny is actually one who's born in Paris, so there you go. And as you see her recent form, she's not really made finals, so she'll be really thrilled with this one. 21-year-old Anna Sturwell. There's not much more to say about her, except for her form of late hasn't been as stunning as it was in 2013. I don't think you could beat that much. All first places and just 1 second when she was in Innsbruck. Megan Mascarena's not a lot of info on her, simply because this is only her second World Cup. 16 years old, still got a baby face, just about an absolutely amazing competitor, and is qualified in second place. And Nakia Noguchi, as Alex said there, in imperious form at the moment, just absolutely stunning the way that she blasted through all the problems in Toronto. And she actually, you almost had that feeling where you knew that she was going to top it, even though before she started, you just get that feeling that she's so at one with her body.
Yeah, you can see it in her eyes.
She's very, very confident. Let's look at the men, and look at the men. So Kokoro Fuji here, again, one of his early finals. It's only his second final, but it's only his 9th World Cup event. So 21-year-old from Shizuoka will be very thrilled to be getting it through here. Next up, Kilian Fischhuber. You've gone from the inexperienced to probably the most experienced. 30 years old. That's almost grandfather age, isn't it, in climbing, isn't it?
Yep.
And he's an interesting character, actually. In the last 17 events I've looked at, he won 6 of them, but he actually failed to qualify for the final in 6. So he does have a period sometimes where he doesn't manage to get through to the final.
In these events, and you can see it in the results from pretty much everyone we've pulled up so far, it flip-flops so often, and it's for the 5 girls that are consistently in finals. That's the most impressive thing to me about them competing. It's not that they can win or they can podium, it's that they can consistently make finals, because it flip-flops so much.
Well, Gigi Monde, I think we're about to start here, so we'll whisk through these, but Gigi Monde, who won in Toronto, world champion Dmitry Sharafutdinov, absolutely incredible athlete. He didn't make it to Toronto, had some visa issues, but he's certainly one to watch out for. Didn't qualify here. Joan Ronda, well, he's an interesting one. This is his 21st World Cup and only his 3rd final. He's still 22, still got many years ahead of him. Also another man born in Paris in France. And finally Sean McCall, 26-year-old from North Vancouver in Canada. And there's a rumour that he has an injury problem at the moment. There's certainly a rumour that he's got a knee problem, and he was having a lot of extensive treatment, but he looked good in quals.
He looked really good in qualifiers, and this is pretty much a hometown crowd for Sean. Obviously, he's Canadian, he's not American, but we all know him. We've all been climbing with him for years, and he's going to have a huge following behind him, and he's personally one of my favorite climbers to watch because of his style. I think he's really entertaining. He's a great climber, and there's the crowd. You can't see us. We're waving, but you can't see us in here.
We're off in the corner. We're somewhere behind the big screen on the left there. They've all sat down. There's going to be a fair few thousand out there today, and there's going to be about sort of 10 or 20,000 watching at some stage on the web here as well. It all gets very, very hectic and manic, and I am going to try and keep an eye on the Twitter account with IFSC, hashtag IFSCWC, and of course we've also got the new Twitter account which we're trying to set up, which is called hashtag IFSC Ask. And if you've got any questions for Alex Johnson, then please fire them away. So, the athletes are now being announced. Kokoro Fuji taking the arena. Here's Marine Fevenier of France. There was Shauna Coxey. There's Kilian Fischhuber there. As you've probably gathered, we do have a mobile camera for the final. So he's going to be very busy trying to give us some interesting angles. It's always very hectic when everything's going on. Kilian looking very happy. Gigi Monday, the gold medalist from Toronto. He's a pretty cool dude as well, isn't he?
He's a funny guy.
We did have a bit of a joke where I was saying that the French haven't won a gold medal for so long that they actually forgot the national anthem. They had a slight issue with the national anthem in Toronto.
No.
He saw the funny side. He saw the funny side. Anna Stur takes the arena. And Dimitri Sharfutdinov. The men's competition is absolutely stunning.
This is going to be a really tough men's field. The last three that they've just announced, I know are veterans. They've been competing for years. Killian is one of the most experienced World Cup competitors out there, and probably the most successful bouldering World Cup competitor out there. And Dimitri is a monster. Gigi, it's going to be an exciting field.
It certainly is. It certainly is. There's Jeremy Bonder, and I think he's gonna have it all out really to try and hang on to some of these other guys. When you haven't had experience in the finals, just tell us. We've got this interesting thing, Alex. I wanted to ask you about, as we just see Akio Noguchi again. She just slides into the arena, doesn't she? She's such a smooth operator.
Yeah.
But the athletes about to turn around and look at the problems. Oh, there's a bit of frisbee throwing going on first.
Canadian pride.
They're called discs here in the States, aren't they?
No, they're frisbees.
Okay. I saw something called disc golf earlier, so I thought that was the frisbee.
That is a completely different sport.
Okay, cool. Thank you for informing me of that. So Alex, I wanted to ask you, one of the things, and I've seen this occasionally on some of the comments on the chat room, but some of the viewers don't believe that the finalists should get a good view of the problems. And they actually think that it's it's not fair, that it should be like the semis and the quals. You get out there. Now, I know this is more of a show, but from a competitor, from an athlete, what difference does it make to you? Just give me the simple answer, which I know you're going to give, but, what difference is there in reality?
Just knowing what you have to do, like knowing what you're up against, eases the nerves so much that you can focus so much more on performing. When you go out blind and you turn around and you could be taken totally by surprise and had no, for me, for example, on problem number 5 in qualifiers, I had no idea what I was doing and I didn't get off the ground. So to be able to communicate with the rest of the climbers and figure out the best method and how to do it, it definitely puts on a better show for the people watching. We're more prepared, and for me, it eases a lot of nerves.
Yeah. So this little discussion as well. This is one of my little hobby horses. You're in there, but I know all these people are good friends, but at the end of the day, we've got 6 different nationalities here, which is incredible. Sorry, 2 Frenchmen, but a vast variety. I know there's a lot of discussions going on between Killian and Sean. He's obviously shared a few good times in the past. 2 veterans of the tour. Are you honestly going to be, if you thought of a way of solving a problem, and you're stood next to somebody who you're going to be challenging for a gold with, are you really truly going to be sharing? Come on, Alex.
That's a hard question.
Tell us, are you truly going to share a unique way of climbing the problem?
I think yes. I hope yes. I hope that no one would try to intentionally host someone, because as much as we are competing against each other, it's just us up against the problems, And I'm sure people are like, nah, that doesn't make any sense, but it does.
No, I do understand.
You're competing against the boulder problem. You want to do well, you want to get to the top. You're not really rooting for anyone to fail, and that's where the communication comes in, and it's just basically, maybe Dimitri and Killian are fierce competitors, but they also both want to do it the right way, the best way, I guess.
Okay, so we're just having a little look at the other problems.
I didn't get to have a chance to look at the boulders before the preview. In my opinion, they look really hard. I've never been a huge fan of volumes, so they're really hard for me. But I should have walked around and had a look at the problems, and then I'd be more knowledgeable about what I think the competitors are going to have to do. But
well, what we're going to do is we have a slight technical hitch here, just with one of the cameras that we just need to go and reset. So don't go away anywhere watching the webcast. We're just going to leave you for literally 30 seconds. We're going to come straight back. Okay, well, welcome back. We just had a little slight hitch there. We're just having a little bit of an issue, but we're going to be okay. We're just the climber's having a little four problems. So a little bit earlier on today, we took an interview with the route setter, and let's have a listen to what he said about the finals.
With me, Martin Hammer, who's the chief route setter here, with the big task of trying to separate all these amazing climbers. Just before we talk about the problems, from a route setting point of view, you know you've got the creme de la creme. You've really got the top climbers. So are do you just simply trying to up the level and you try and make sure that you're setting the very best problems for them?
Well, it's a bit tricky because it's a very small line, like between too easy, too hard. The thing we try to do is just set problems that really challenge them, that are very doable for them, but that challenge them, and that also the audience can see that they have to try hard, and that the audience sees, okay, these are really the best.
Anyway, tell us, final, the women, problem 1. Tell us all about it.
Okay, problem 1, it's really delicate. We have there's some start moves, and then you have a dynamic move, and then some stemming in a dihedral. It will be really interesting. I think it's a good opener. Problem 2, it's really balancy at the start, and then we're thinking there are more solutions to it again. And then for the top, you have to stay composed and finish it.
Okay, interesting. I'm looking forward to that one. What about problem 3?
Problem 3, it's very powerful. It's like to show, okay, they got power as well, the girls, the top girls. They are at the very high strength level as well, and they can show that off on number 3.
Right, so that's where the muscles will be very happy to see problem 3. And then problem 4, what have you got in the bag for problem 4?
Problem 4 will be dynamic at the start, and then also powerful for the top. Yeah.
So those girls are going to be coming off pretty tired after 3 and 4 together.
I hope so.
Well, we saw it in Toronto in the semi-finals. The girls came off and they were like, oh my goodness, I need to sit down, because they absolutely killed them on that particular one. What about the men's? Tell us all about problem 1 of the men's final.
Well, the men, for the first problem, we have maybe the problem of the season. It's a run across jump, a skate jump, as we put it, and it'll be really interesting. Also, a pretty delicate finish maybe, so we'll see some good stuff there.
Okay.
Problem 2, it's a funky dynamic slap, if it works, so that'll be cool.
A funky dynamic slap. Nobody's ever said that to me in those words. Right, I'm really looking forward to that. What about problem 3?
Problem 3, we have the balancy slap for the man. That'll be maybe a bit of a slow one, but I'm pretty sure it will be very interesting to see.
Yeah. And problem 4, what have you got for them?
Problem 4, it's the one for the show, but very interesting as well. Maybe tricky start, dynamic moves to the top. I think it'll be a fun one to watch.
Yeah. Well, it sounds as if you've got some good ones for us tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Martin, thank you very much for your time.
So we're back here live. A little gust of wind. Vail, Colorado. It's very changeable weather here. Beautifully sunny and hot. At least in England, it doesn't change. It just rains all the time. I hear everybody's being soaked again. But beautifully hot conditions. And suddenly we've had the odd thunderstorm. We get absolutely soaked.
And it's chilly. Hopefully it'll be good for the conditions here. If it cools down a little, it's definitely going to help with being able to hold onto the holds. When the holds are in the sun and they're hot, it's hot out, those holds get really slippery and really greasy, and some cool breeze. I think it's going to be good for the competitors.
It's good for everybody. And we do have a big tarpaulin roof over this. I remember a few years ago in Vail when we didn't actually have a roof.
Nope, just a tarp.
Yeah. And the rain came down. So, okay, there we go. The athletes are off. And so we're going to be getting ready now for our first athletes up. Interesting to hear the comments there from the route setter, which I made a note. The men, there was one thing he said about men's problem 1. where he called it problem of the season. And he didn't mean that it was the most amazing problem, it's just the most typical problem that he's been set at the moment with this little running style. You can see this on the screen in front of you, Alex, on the right-hand side, where they run up a little bit.
And they had a running start in qualifiers yesterday as well, so hopefully they should be ready for this running start.
Yeah. Well, we've got you can see actually on that shot, there's the gondolas. They're still operating, taking people up and down the mountain. There are some biking and running competitions. In fact, I can see people carrying bags of sand up there, which is obviously some sort of endurance thing that's going on just alongside us. But this is the big ticket item, and it is absolutely packed out there. And there's a really cracking atmosphere. There's going to be free music later on, so I think there'll be the odd little shandy will be consumed, and people will enjoy themselves into the night here. Saturday night in Vail is absolutely fantastic, isn't it?
It's one of the most fun nights of the year for me. This is the reason I come to Vail.
There's the audience. Look at that. They're all enjoying themselves. That is absolutely packed to the rafters.
Yeah, the crowd has definitely filled itself in. What's great about this year is they raised the wall up on a stage. This is the first year that the wall has been raised. In previous years, it's been really hard for people to see, especially way in the back, just trying to see over people's heads and standing. But this year they raised the wall up on a stage, so now even if you're in the very, very back, you can still see pretty much everything that's going on. And so hats off to USA Climbing and the IFSC for raising the wall.
Yes. One question that came in on the chat actually was saying, you know, that the American men haven't been doing so well of late. And, you know, do you have a theory about that in particular?
I don't. You know, we had, 4 or 6 guys in semifinals. And honestly, just making semifinals in a World Cup is impressive enough. It's really hard. Obviously, I didn't make semis this year. It's hard, you know. These are the best climbers in the world, and to get 10th, like Carlo Traversi got 10th, is a really impressive feat. Like, yeah, maybe it's not finals, but it's still 10th in the world this weekend. And Daniel Woods, another really strong competitor. He's won this event here before. I think it was 2 years ago. He got knocked out. He didn't even make semis this year either. You know, you just have to be on your game, and you have to climb perfectly. And our guys try. Yep,
the first athletes are out. And it's
for the women, Shauna Coxey
and Kakoru Fuji of Japan. And be very interesting here because there's a theory that Shauna might be carrying a bit of an injury here. So let's see what we go. We're just having an issue with the clock at the moment, which is why we went off. So we're just going to continue without graphics for now. There is Kakoru Fuji on the left and Shauna Coxey on the right.
The men's problem, it's going to be a little bit of a running dyno to those pinches. Definitely a move that they've seen before. It's going to be a learned body movement. They're going to probably have to try it once or twice to sort of get the feel of how to move towards those pinches, but I think we'll definitely see this dyno being stuck. And Shauna Coxey on the women's side changes shoes depending on the angle of the wall that she's climbing on right now. She's in lower angle shoes, flat, they're not downturned at all. And when she gets into the more steeper stuff where she has to use her toes more, she changes into a downturned shoe. And I think that's really interesting. I think it's really smart strategically to, when you're climbing slab, wear a flat shoe, and when you're climbing in the steep, wear a downturned shoe. It seems simple, but I think she's the only one I've seen who does it.
Well, Kakoru Fuji having a good look at this problem. Shauna just trying to sort of prepare herself for the next one. She's
it seems like a really scrunchy movement that she has to do, getting her feet up on that jib, and she fell just going for the bonus on this attempt, but
yeah, let's go.
Another learned move. I think she'll stick.
So Fuji there having an attempt. So he's not going for the sprint, he's going for a sort of standing start.
This is a scary and almost frustrating type of problem that they set. This was like our qualifiers #1. I wasn't sure whether to go slow or to run, and I think he's sort of facing the same dilemma. Should he inch across those volumes, or should he just run and go for it? And this method, I think he should just run and go for it, and those pinches look good enough, or if he has like a flying start, he'll stick them.
Yeah. Well, the chief route setter, Martin Hammer, said it was a run across jump, So he certainly saw them as I run across. And Shauna just going there. His description was delicate start moves, a dynamic move, which was the one that you saw Shauna just miss out on. He called it a good opener, which means that it's going to be tough. I think sometimes some of these route setters are quite sadistic at times, and they do like a challenge and tricking people.
Oh yeah, they're mean. No, just kidding, they're not mean.
I did call one of them a frustrated, top international climber at one stage. But, without route setters, oh, what a hold there from Kokoru Fuji. And the crowd are loving that.
A big move for him to the finish. And those volumes are slippery. The texture on those things is not good. And there he's got it, the finish.
Oh my goodness, Kokoru Fuji. Well, he falls off, but he does get it.
Okay.
He did get the okay.
Wow.
It was just an embarrassing way
close,
to finish, wasn't
yeah.
it? He climbed the difficulty. He just couldn't dismantle in a very clever way.
Yeah, and having to hang on those volumes alone without having any jibs on, they're slippery, Even having to stand on them, they're slippery. And so having them at the end, you've lost chalk during the beginning of the boulder problem, and getting up to the volumes, they're going to be slippery, and I think that finish is going to be hard for some of the guys.
Yeah. 30 seconds to go. Apologies, we don't have the clock on the screen. We are trying to work on that as we speak. Here's Shauna Coxey. She's smiling away, but of course this is a plus system, so as long as she's on the wall when the clock runs out, then she will be okay. So she's got time for one final go here as the clock just runs out.
And so if I were Shauna right now, I would hang out for a couple seconds and rest. Obviously, she looks tired. We are at 9,000 feet elevation. That's about 3,000 meters. It's high up here, and you can see when they come down, they're panting. So for her to get on the wall and just sit there for a few seconds was a really good strategy.
Well, she had a real good go there, Shauna, but it's one fail for Shauna, and Fuji with one top. So great start for him there. They're just cleaning it down here. There's a lot of climbing to come. Next athlete is out already. So Boulder, Jeremy Boulder from France is on male one, and Kilian Fischhuber, who qualified in 5th place, is out on the right. Sorry, I'm looking at the sheet the wrong way around. My apologies. So Fischhuber on the left, and it's Fevigny. You can probably hear a bit of Alley and a French accent around us. We've got the French camp around.
This is a move that I don't think is going to give Kilian a hard time. He's familiar with like run and jumps and double dynos and stuff, so I think 1 or 2 good tries for his body to learn the run movement, and he's going to stick this right away and go to the top.
And something you see with some of the real experienced guys, Kilian is one who's happy to spend 2 minutes having a look at the problem before even going on the wall. And I don't know if you was watching in Toronto last week, but Jan Hoyer made a big mistake. He saw a problem, thought he was going to solve it easily, had a go at it, slipped off at a point, and actually didn't realise that cost him a goal. He admitted afterwards, if only he'd have stayed and had a good look.
And it doesn't make sense to try a problem over and over and over and over again. You're only going to make yourself tired, and you're just going to rack up points. So you want every attempt to be your best attempt. So if you only get 2 or 3 solid attempts in the 4 minutes that you have, that's better than taking 8 or 12 attempts and making yourself really tired and not getting any further.
Absolutely. Well, Fevigny nearly gets that one. So this is proving a problem for the women at the moment. They're having some certainly an issues on that big dyno up there, just trying to reach out, and both of them are just having a little rest here. Kilian just had 1 attempt so far. Competition is so tight that, as you say, there's no point just having another go. Just have a look, take your time, because it might come down to the number of attempts.
Right, exactly. Most likely it will come down to the number of attempts.
Yeah. Kilian is looking as he's having a bit of a problem on this one, though. Took Fuji a couple of attempts.
This is surprising me. He's not stuck this dyno yet. I think that was his 3rd attempt, and I believe he'll do it. It's surprising me that he hasn't done it yet, but it is a really weird position to have to run across those slanted volumes.
Yeah.
You have to look at your feet, and then you have to look at your hands, and it takes a lot of coordination.
Fevignier
There it
comes
is.
off, and Fischuber holds it. A little bit of extra energy in that push. He knew he was just missing, and now here's the next day. And this is not easy. This is power
And
stuff, isn't it?
This is a great angle to show how bad these volumes are. They're slopey, they're slanted down, and they're slippery. So this is a really scary. Yep. It's a scary move, and you have to commit fully. And
Kilian can't believe that.
it's precarious up there. You know, those holds are not good.
But that's symptomatic of a problem in a final, isn't it? At the end of the day, you know, there's no, oh, you've done the big move and now you can just walk to the top. It's actually, well, you've done that, but there's still a lot more to come.
Right, yep, you still have to fight your way to the top.
So Fischuber is going to make one last attempt here. And Fevignier of France, the clock is clock down to 20 seconds to go. So this looks like a
static attempt for her. Every other attempt has been dynamic. They're trying to jump to it, but
oh my goodness, well done. This is close. Oh!
There it is. And this will be both of their last attempts. The clock is now up, but since they're on the wall, and that's it for Kilian.
Fischuber's missing out there, but let's have a look. What an incredible way here. Marine Fevignier of France.
Wedged into the corner. This looks like just reaching fingertips. This is a crazy finish. I think she needs to bump her left hand higher up on that volume.
There she goes.
There
Good
she
call,
goes.
Alex.
Yep.
Just a little bit more, extra half an inch.
Yep, another, just a little bit, just a little bit. Keep pumping it up. There we go. That's it.
Well, brilliant performance. The first top of Problem F1 for Amine Fevignier. She is thrilled, and what a start here.
And that was a great show of not giving up. You know, that was her last attempt. She'd given 3 or 4 attempts before that didn't work, and got on and tried something different, and when it worked, fighting through to the top, because you don't get another try. You know your time is up.
Absolutely. So Fischuber misses on Problem 1, and the next 2 are coming in. And Guillaume Monde, or Gigi as most people call him, and it's Fanny Guibert of France. And this is going to be fascinating. So double France list.
And Gigi stuck that on his first try. That's impressive.
Yes. Well, he is on form, having won in Toronto. Oh, nice. See the power there as he's moving up. This was the area where Kilian struggled. Oh, my goodness.
Very impressive first try effort for Gigi. Especially with that run and jump. That's such a tricky movement.
Yeah. That's a flash, and that will put Monday in first place after only 3 climbers. We do have a clock on screen. Currently there's 3 minutes, 2 seconds to go, so it's a little bit out at the moment. But we're just having a slight technical issue with one of our main computers deciding to dine us just literally 5 minutes before the final started. And we tried to get it back going, but it doesn't want to behave. So we're trying to get some of our technical stuff working here, but it does mean that I'm not able to view the Twitter feed as my computer has disappeared. So here we go, having a little look now at the next 2.
So that's the same competitor on both screens. It's cool to get another angle of this climb.
It's quite interesting. When I was saying in Toronto that when I covered climbing back in 2001, it was French dominated. It was gold, silver, bronze, France, everywhere. And Kilian, actually, I spoke to Kilian about this, and he said yes, and then the Austrians arrived.
Yeah, that's
The Austrians sort of
not a joke.
broke the dominance. But actually, France did not medal in the first 4 events of any of the World Cups, in men or women, and it's only of late that we're starting to see some of the French come back, and Fanny Guibert tops here.
And both of them flash attempts. They definitely have a chance to medal here. But the thing about these events is there are 4 problems, and you could be in first place for the first 2 and totally lose it and be kicked off the podium in the last 2 problems, you know?
Yeah, Guibert is smiling away here as we await the next 2. We've got some real big athletes coming as well. Anna Sturr of Austria. There's not much else you can really say about Anna. And Dmitry Sharafutdinov, the world champion, who will certainly have his eyes on a possible #1 ranking spot, and with Kilian Fischuber not qualifying for the finals in Toronto. So here we go. It's both of them. Just have a little look, and Dmitry looks as if he's going to make a move very early on here.
It's always a good idea to take another look, even after you have the preview, just to refresh, you know, okay, this is what I have to do. I remember now, you know.
And Anna also straight into action.
I suspect she'll stick this dyno. I don't think she'll try the dynamic way that the French have both successfully done.
Oh, that was an awkward fall as well there. Landed on the small of her back. Interesting to see that the French doing, you know, not going for the jump and actually doing it away. Oh,
That's such their style, though.
Yeah, let's climb it rather than jump it. And,
yeah.
It is fascinating to see. So Dmitry Sharafutdinov is going to have a big swing here to try and make it across this gap. Oh, no problem whatsoever. Dmitry slightly taller, so didn't have to jump so high relatively.
Interesting method there, crimping behind the volume where the volume's bolted on. That's a good idea in my opinion. It gives you some opposition. You're not just holding on to that slopey edge. So crimping the underside of that volume there was able to pull him over and up to the finish hold, as opposed to just sliding down.
Now was that
volume.
a flash for Dmitry?
Nope, that was the second try.
It was the second, yeah. So Gigi Monde currently leading for the first round. So a good problem 1. It's sort of separated the athletes already. We're not going to be going to count back by the looks of it. Yet to know what happens later on. And here's Anna Sturr. She's having a few issues here.
She looks frustrated, and I don't blame her. I would be frustrated too. It's something that you know you're physically capable of, and to not do it, yeah, it's frustrating, you know?
Yeah. Sometimes the body language is interesting. Like looking at Shauna Coxey, she doesn't look happy at the moment, and sometimes, you know, you might be having an injury. You might have hurt a knee in a previous time, and you know you want to compete because you're here, but you know you're not giving 100%. If you missed me saying earlier, there is a question mark about Sean McCall at the moment. He may be having a knee injury, and we're going to see a little bit later on how he goes. Here's Anna. So Anna's changed, and this is
the method that's worked for both of the French competitors, the static method, and it's worked for her as well. Yeah. I don't know if that was what the route setter intended, but it's the only way that has been successful so far.
No, he described it as a dyno move, so
something like that comes with experience, you know. If you're trying something and it's just absolutely not working, try something else, you know, maybe it'll work. And hopefully when Megan Mascarenas comes out, she's young, she doesn't have a ton of experience. Hopefully she can sort of adapt the same sort of strategy, you know. If it's not working, like, don't be afraid to try something else.
45 seconds left on the clock.
I don't think jumping for this is a good idea. Okay.
No.
I think stemming, like the French girls did, is the best method. She definitely has enough time to get back up and try that again. She knows now how to get to the bonus hold with the static method, and just, I think that she'll figure out to stem through that volume in the wall and get to the top. I definitely would not dyno to that pocket.
That's one thing that Kilian and Anna are very, very good at. If they, you know, we've seen it so many times before. If they are struggling in a particular way on a problem, we've tried 2 or 3 times, they'll actually say, well, let's just forget that. That's obviously not working, and we'll try something totally different. Even though to them it might seem a little bit crazy. The clock is running. Anna can't hold on. Ooh, that was close. Anna, she spent too much time. Yeah, she had a little giggle to herself there because she realised that she misjudged the clock.
Yeah, and now she can just sit there and chill. There you go.
Now she can do
now
it.
Get the crowd riled
There
up.
we go. Have you ever seen anybody do that, where they've been cheering the crowd and the clock's gone behind them?
No, that would be really
That's embarrassing.
disappointing.
So Anna, she knows how to get through here. She actually did that a lot quicker. So having done it once, and now here's the area. How's she going to do this?
I think she knows she needs to stem. Hopefully she doesn't try the same thing again. It doesn't look like she's going to. It looks like she's doing left foot up and mantle with the...
Oh my goodness,
That's
Anna Sturr.
frustrating. She's going to be really frustrated with that foot slip. She knows that she could have finished that problem. She knows that she was doing the right method. She was mad.
Yes, I think she's disappointed then. Both herself and Killian were very disappointed with their first problems in the semi-finals in Toronto. And here we've seen again, both of them have failed on the first problem. And it seems that there is a little pattern here that we've seen it before with Killian in qualification, that he's actually failed on his qualification attempt on first problem. And maybe they're just coming out a little cold.
Yeah, and they're both such experienced competitors that they know that it doesn't always come down to just the first problem. They know that they can get it back.
Yeah. Oh, well, Jeremy Boulder, no messing around there. He went for the big move very early on. 3 minutes 31 to go. Of course, it's a 4 minutes plus situation here. And we are still working on getting the clock and graphics back on. So please bear with us.
Megan needs to go after these problems with confidence and attack them, and she needs to know that she's capable of doing whatever the rest of these girls are doing, and that's honestly the most important part about coming out as a young, sort of fresh competitor is confidence. And if you don't have it, we're gonna know, you know?
16 years old, incredible age. We had a 16 and a 17-year-old in the final at Toronto. And it is quite incredible considering that the level of performance is so high to still see the youngsters managing to qualify. You would have said to Megan, look, I'm looking on qualification because this level is so good. She actually qualified in second place.
She did. She did an outstanding job in qualifications, great job in semifinals. That was a better attempt. She needs to go after it like she knows how to do it. Hopefully she can figure out how to try the sort of stemming static method, or just stick the dyno. I mean, that would be really impressive as well.
Yeah. So Jeremy Boulder, this is he hasn't made many finals. He's his 21st World Cup. It's only his third final, so this is quite a new experience for him. And it is the difference between a semi and a final, Alex, is massive, isn't it? At the end of the day, you're just one of many climbers out there, whereas now everybody's looking at you. You're the centre of attention.
Yeah.
So it's a massive amount of pressure, isn't it, on your shoulders?
And you're tired, not me personally, but they did 5 problems yesterday, 4 problems today, and now they need to do 4 more problems tonight. That's a lot of climbing, and it's a lot of trying your hardest. That's the method I think is going to work for Megan. Hopefully she sticks with that. There's a minute 35 seconds on the clock. It's plenty of time for her to give at least one more good attempt, maybe 2.
I've got to say, well done to Johnny in the background here. He's completely set up a brand new scoring system on a different laptop in literally, what was that, Johnny? 20 minutes? Well done, mate. We now have a clock and graphics. But of course, it doesn't make the difference, isn't it? It's the colour commentary. But it's good to know what's going on. And Johnny will be able to bring you up some scores as well in a short while. Here's the big cheer, a minute to go. Jeremy Boulder, a slightly negative little reaction here. He's got his arms crossed. And Becca Mascarenhas, can she reach across? She's trying it in a different way. Oh, she's done it. Oh, brilliant. She's up to the next level. Come on, Megan.
Great for Megan. I think she can finish this. And even if it's not on this attempt, she still has time to get back up.
Now, as a 16-year-old, you're physically not going to be having the muscles and the strength that you develop when, that you got when you're 20. So, she's at a slight disadvantage here.
And the head for this, these girls have been doing this for so long. I have confidence in her. She's a great competitor, a great athlete, and there it is. She's done it.
Oh, the crowd here are going absolutely crazy. Megan Mascarenhas has managed to top that, and she is thrilled. Next athlete's already up. Well, she could be on the podium. A 16-year-old American. Well, coming up next, Sean McCall, and Boulder didn't make that one. There's a cheer here for fellow North American. It's not as good as the big cheer he got in Toronto. They raised the roof back there when Sean competed, and he actually felt a bit frustrated in the post-event interview, and he was quite frustrated with himself, having he felt that he could have actually done the two problems he didn't actually complete, and problem 4, which was a real toughie, he then went and did.
It's heartbreaking to know you've climbed your best and be beaten, but it's honestly more frustrating to know that something went wrong, that something went off. Like if you honestly gave it your all and you still didn't win, you know you left it all out there. You know that you did the best that you could, but to know that you could have done something differently or better, it's always so much more frustrating.
Yeah. Beautifully put, Alex. Sean's had a couple of attempts at this one. Now Sean's one of the shorter. Sean's one of the shorter athletes, so this is one where, you know, it's a bit like the Killian situation. You know, I'm taller than Killian, and you know, I'm only just 6 foot, and he's some of these guys who are 6'5", 6'6" out there, they're going to reach that one well. Now Akio Noguchi, she tried the dyno move here, and she's going to have another pop at it.
Since seeing Akio here in 2008, she's gotten significantly better at dynamic movements, but looks like she's not going to try it again.
Yep.
She found the stem method.
She's already decided to go a different way.
Sean is going to stick this dyno. He's a dynamic competitor. I think that he's going to figure this out and stick it.
Now, of course, Akio is also not the tallest, so she's having trouble reaching here. But we saw with Megan Mascarenhas earlier that, you know, oh, nicely done, Akio.
That was a good grab there. She knows the method to go to the top.
Well, this is going to be interesting to see. And Sean McCall again misses, but here comes Akio Noguchi.
She's got to get that right foot over.
Is she going to do it backwards?
She needs to oppose.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. I was wrong.
That counts. And you know, she's so at one with her body at the moment. The way she just did that, well, I'll just do it the backwards way. You know, that's the way it's turned out.
To think that that's going to work. I'd be like, oh, bummer, I'm stuck. She was like, no, just do this, it'll work.
Well, Sean McCall's got a bit of pressure on. 1 minute 32 to go on the clock. And he's made it. This is, I think, his 4th or 5th attempt. Now here we come to some upper body strength. This is where the boys show their muscles. Oh!
Sean is one of my favorite competitors to watch. He's so emotional, whether it's, you know, excited or angry.
Yeah.
And it's cool seeing emotions like that, you know? We get angry when we don't do well, and we get really happy when we do well, like, obviously.
Absolutely.
Seeing emotions like that, you know they're real and they're honest.
Absolutely. Everybody's a human being out there, and you know, we're going to get the odd issue. The wind is really starting to blow up here. They're just having a little break while they get set for the next problem out there, and there's a little bit of drilling going on out there. I don't know if they've just had I don't know if the route setter's just had a slight change of mind. He's had a look at the problem, but I just heard a drill. You can see there's a little set of ladders. Look at the crowd here. They're really enjoying themselves.
The women's 3rd route and the men's 2nd route, the climb the men just did, there was a little bit of an overlap, so they needed to get those holds out of the way.
Oh, I see.
So the women don't grab them, yeah.
Yeah, good idea. I love the way they've painted this wall. So the clock starts counting. Yeah, I think looks like we're gonna wait another 5 minutes or so.
This is a really nice break for the competitors in the background. This format is always welcomed. USA Climbing adapted it just a few years ago after the IFSC, and we always used to run the 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off format like the qualifiers and semifinals, and this format is more welcomed. We prefer it because you do get a longer break. You know, you get almost a 20-minute rest if you're the first one to go between your first problem and your second problem, because you know, there's 6 people to go. They each have 4+ minutes, and instead of just doing 5 on, 5 off, you can get up to a 20-minute rest, and that's definitely needed in this final round.
Yes. Shauna Coxey now She's on the left-hand side. And on the other side, we're going to see in a second, it's Kokoro Fuji. Fuji topped problem 1. And Coxie, she failed on her problem 1. So
Of the women's climbs, this one looks the least fun to me. Yesterday, my experiences were on the steep, get to the finish, on the slab, don't get off the ground, and this looks like something that it looks hard to get off the ground. So there's not much to those volumes. You know, they look like they're rounded, but they're flat like pancakes. There's not a lot to grab onto there. You have to switch modes from dynamic climbing to really static, slow slab climbing. And sometimes that's a hard gear to change too. You know, you're used to dynoing and cutting your feet on steep overhangs and having to keep tension constantly and move slower is really hard to change into that mode as well.
yeah, absolutely. Here we go, Fuji. And there's a bit, I know there's a big support back in the UK for Shauna Coxie.
A really cool move by the setters there, and a really cool first attempt stick to walk across those volumes and then jump to something else. Those movements are usually really hard to do on your first try. It usually takes you a little while to get used to it.
Coxie making a big effort here. First time we've seen F2 attempted, and she makes it. Bit of a grimace on the face. Route setter stated that was a balancing start. Lots of different ways of doing this, and you have to finish quite composed at the end.
This looks like a very tensiony boulder problem. It looks like you have to keep your muscles taut the entire time, and no dynamic movement, or you'll slip or fall right off.
So Fuji comes off quite violently there. Has a quick look at the clock. You can see there's about a minute remaining. Ignore the clock on the screen at the moment. This clock is wrong. You might as well take it off screen. There's about a minute or so on there. You can see that this one is quite vertical actually. There's no real overhang on this. But our camera crew from NBC there deciding that he can just go and stand in front of our cameras. It is national TV, I suppose. So Fuji. Have an attempt here. You can see how bright is it outside actually. Really affecting the picture on the camera. In fact, you know, it's so much better to see it from a close-up view, isn't it? Because you really see how hard the problems are. Sometimes it's so easy to just watch from a distance and go, oh yeah, you know, just another hold. Whereas actually you can see here that this problem, you know, look how small those little holds are.
And getting the different camera angles on it, you can see how bad those holds are. Like if it's just a square-on angle, you're like, yeah, I don't know, it's flat. But getting those different angles, you can see how sloped or how small those holds actually are.
Yeah. 10 seconds to go. Yes. Fuji. The buzzer has gone. This is his last go. So Kokoro Fuji nearly makes it, and he walks off with his head a little bit down. I don't think he was going to ever get closer. He could have been there for 20 minutes and not made that.
That looks like a really hard move to go from standing up slab and catch a one-handed dyno as you're barn dooring and your body's opening up and literally pulling you off the wall.
Yeah. So Kilian Fischhuber and Marine Fevenier. So Fevenier on the left, Fischhuber on the right. So Fuji so far with one top and one fail in his 2 attempts.
Yeah, The swimming's problem just does not look fun to me. I don't know. I wonder if they're having fun. Someone should ask them. Now, being in finals is always fun. And you win money.
Vignier is having a little play around here just to find the best way to get that, to get that hold. And you know, I suppose sometimes you are experimenting as you're up there. You're just trying to say, right, you know, where is the best position for me? And
that's the thing with climbing is that no move, no matter how many times we've done a similar move to it, no move is ever exactly the same. So every move on a climb is new, especially in competitions. This is all on-site format. The first time, I mean, when you've done it once, it's not new, but every time you come out, all those moves are new. Even if we've done similar climbs, it's still muscle memory. Killian taking the more static approach.
Yep, and there you see.
It's working, yep.
That's the second time today we've seen that sometimes you don't have to be jumping around the place, and where Kokoro Fuji was trying to make the effort, Fischuber doesn't make the top.
I think he should have gone with his left hand. As soon as he went with his right hand, his body started to open, he started to barn door. I think if he went with his left hand, he would have had his right hand to oppose and keep him from barn dooring off that climb. Still 2 minutes left to go. He knows what he has to do now. He knows that that worked. It looks like he's sporting a mustache, like a, I don't know, can I say porn stash? He has a mustache. I've never seen this before.
From this angle, maybe he just hasn't shaved today.
Well, no, he definitely had a full beard earlier. This is a mustache. I've never seen Killian like this. He looks funny. Looks like my dad.
I've got to say, I've seen a lot more beards. Beards are coming back into fashion as well. I've seen a lot of guys with beards around here.
The hipster mustache. Oh, he definitely has a hipster mustache.
Oh, he has. Well, he must have grown that from this morning. I didn't. Oh, yeah, well, men are never.
Maybe he lost a bet.
Yeah. Okay, Marine Fevignier here. She topped on problem 1. So she's in the driving seat here. There's the bonus hold coming up with the pink tape. We are back on Twitter as well, for those of you who want to comment on IFSC. Nice to see Vincent Fiball. Loving the comment from Alex Johnson. What about me? Surely I'm doing okay. Fischuber gets the bonus. Incredibly, we've seen this sometimes, a few times with Fischuber. We saw it in Toronto. Got close to the top and then actually switched off and was almost too cocky, and in the end came off. Let's see if he can be a bit more sensible now.
With the left hand, definitely a better method than going with the right hand. He knows that he could have done that on his first try, and hopefully that doesn't catch up with him later in the game.
So Fischuber does it in 2, and Marine Fevignier with 25 seconds to go. She's had a couple of attempts here. I think the route setters are quite happy. We're getting a lovely mix, aren't we, of tops, and it's a good spread. This is a good final.
It's great when you get some tops, some, unfortunately, who don't top. In multiple tries and in flashes, it really breaks up the field. And the last thing a route setter wants is a tie. So as much as the field can be broken up, the better.
So here we go. So Fevignier comes off there. That was her big attempt, but she doesn't manage. And there's another athlete with 1 top and 1 fail. So we're getting an interesting pattern here. We're playing a bit of notes and crosses with Fuji getting problem 1 and not getting problem 2. Fischuber not getting problem 1, then getting problem 2. And the girls have done the same. Coxey, a no and a yes, and Fevignier, a yes and a no. So a little bit of notes and crosses going on here. Let's see what Fanny Guibert there of France on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, we have Gigi Monde with our lovely American cameraman deciding that he's just going to stand in front of everybody.
It'll be interesting how he goes about doing this first move. The dynamic method.
Yes, he went for the jump.
And it worked. Two Frenchies on the screen.
Monday really is on form at the moment, and look how easy he's done this. It's taken him 45 seconds.
He's climbing so well. With this, how he did in Toronto and how he's doing now. There's that obnoxious corner.
And that's 2 flashes in a row for Monday. So he is now top of the leaderboard. You're watching us live here. It's 5:20 in the mid-afternoon here in the beautiful Vail Mountains. Absolutely lovely setting. I don't think there's a better place. I've seen some terrible places when I've commentated. This has got to be one of the best. And Guibert makes the big move across now. Now, can she follow it up?
The finish of this looks really interesting. I said before I didn't get a chance to have a look. It looks tricky. I'm not sure how good the finish hold actually is. It didn't look like Shauna Coxey had that much trouble finishing. Ah, that's a much better angle. Okay, it's pretty much all the same holds all the way up. A really cool finish how they did that with the holds upside down, and an excellent job by her. I think that was her flash attempt. What's crazy about these events, and I said this before, is the results can flip-flop so frequently. Someone who is consistently in finals can be out of finals or even out of semifinals, and then these two girls, like, I haven't been following the circuit that closely this year, but the two French girls in finals this year, I've never heard of before.
Right, next problem up is Anna Stur, who failed on her first attempt, and Dmitry Sharafutdinov, the world champion from Russia, enters the arena, and he is on the right-hand side. Our cameraman's going a little bit walkies here. We do have mainly volunteer cameramen on this, so we've got one guy who does know his camera work very well.
I don't think he's watching the screen. I think he's just watching live.
Yeah. They do. The climbers do sometimes get a little bit more excited. Here he goes. Oh, well.
And that's a first attempt for him if he can get that hand up, and a big fall for Anna Stur on that jump.
Well, Dmitry, he took 2 attempts on his first problem, so that puts him into second place, 2 tops, and Anna Stur is certainly not having a good day at the office so far. We've got one more climber to go, then we'll have a quick look at the leaderboard. We seem to be all back up and running, and thanks for bearing with us. We had a bit of a computer meltdown there, which is never good when you're live.
It's times like these that you can't let your head get the best of you, you know? After not completing the first climb, she needs to go back and wipe the slate clean and come out. You know, you can still win even after not doing the first climb. Like, it's anyone's game still. We still have 2 more boulders after this one. She can do this, and she still has a chance of winning, you know? So, you know, getting the mental game really locked in and not letting your frustration get the best of you is really important in a time like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Great comment, Alex. And Anna is certainly experienced enough to know that. So she's making a big push here for the bonus. These are pretty tough problems. And a great comment you said earlier as well, that sometimes the Americans go for more power problems and the Europeans will have more technical problems that require deliberate hand movement or placement, and Anna gives the bonus a little tap. Almost a goodbye. She's still got 1.5 minutes to go though. This is not over yet for her.
She's definitely frustrated. She knows she can do it, and she knows that she's made errors. And I would definitely be frustrated at this point as well.
We're coming close to the halfway stage actually, because the next athlete to come out. It's incredible how fast it goes, isn't it? You know,
it's crazy.
We've been live for 1 hour and 10 minutes, and you know, where did it fly by? And
especially starting so early. This is a really early final.
It is. But I think quite a lot of the crowd, you know, there's such a massive crowd out there, it's incredible. But it's perfect place to have it because they come and watch this, get out in the sun, and then they can go and have a beer and watch some of the free music and really have a great time. And it's really great to have such a good atmosphere around all of the World Cups, to see such good crowds. And they do love it in North America, don't they? And I understand the American nationals get good crowds, there's good atmosphere there.
Yeah, the crowds definitely get behind the athletes at a lot of the events here.
So
I think
Anna,
she needs to stand all the way up on this black start hold. The last 2 times she's tried going, she's been sort of unbalanced on it. This looks more stable to me.
yeah, there is a hold there, you can hardly see it. Same colour as the wall, but she's made it. The clock's going to run out. This is her last attempt. Now Anna, this is big pressure moment. And if there's anybody that you want to put your life on getting to the top, it's this girl, Anna Sturr.
And that's a finish for her. Shaking her head in frustration. She knows she could have done it on the first try, but you know, that's how the game goes sometimes.
Yeah, she's disappointed with herself. The next climber's getting ready to come out. It is a bit awkward. I've got to just make a little... our cameramen are having a tough time, I think, because there are so many other people around. We are at the GoPro mountain games. There's people with GoPros all over the place, capturing footage left, right and centre. We've got 3-man TV crew from NBC covering footage. And we're trying to try and squeeze in between everybody. So it is a hard job for our cameramen out there, trying to get the best position. So here we go. Here's the young American girl. I haven't heard this. USA.
The crowd is chanting USA. Megan's got thousands of people behind her.
Megan Mascarena, she flashed problem 1. And Jeremy Boulder.
16 years old. This is Megan's 2nd World Cup ever. I mentioned before, none of us were surprised to see Megan in finals. She's an excellent competitor and is only going to get better. She's made finals at our nationals the last 2 years. I think she podiumed this year, so her being in finals, honestly, it was only a matter of time.
Yeah. And she's having a good look at this one. And this is going to be a tough one. These are the sort of ones where, you know, many years of experience will count. And, you know, know that this is a tough one.
Knowing that every attempt counts, knowing that even if your sequence is a little off, not jumping off and starting over, but trying to fix it while you're on the wall, because every attempt counts.
Actually made a mistake. I said she flashed problem 1, but the official scoreboard said that she took 4 attempts. So I actually made an error there, but it happens. Jeremy Boulder is trying to do this with a jump. We've seen this done a few different ways on the men's too. So far, 3 women have topped problem 2, and 3 men have topped problem 2 as well. See the sunshine coming in from the right-hand side. It is extremely bright out there. And Jeremy Boulder having some problems.
As it gets later in the day, the sun is going to creep higher and higher up the wall. It's going to put the holds in the sun, and that's going to be frustrating for the climbers. I climbed at 6:40 last night, and a lot of my holds were in the sun. They get greasy. These finalists are going to be frustrated, and maybe that's why our finals today is so much earlier, is because if we did start at 7, like a normal final time, the wall would be in the sun.
Big cheer for Megan, but she's having trouble out there, that's for sure. Calls of Ali in the distance. The French are really getting into Boulder here.
Slow and steady is the method on this women's climb, and it looks like Megan's figuring it out. These volumes are such a pain to wrestle around with, and your balance has to be so on. If even slightly off, you're going to come right out. I think she needs to lean closer to the wall and use more of her legs to slowly stand up and not stand up so dynamically. But what do I know? I suck at slap climbing.
40 seconds to go. Now, you felt that Anna Sture used a lot of her experience to get up that particular problem, and you know, when you're 16 years old, you just don't have the time to get all these problems into your, you know, you've still got another 4 or 5 years of real serious experience. And you know, she's
7 even with Anna being 26. I mean, she's 10 years older than Megan.
It's incredible, isn't it? Yeah, 10 years more experience out there.
That's a great finish for Jeremy Bonner. Oh, sorry, just the bonus. My bad.
Yeah,
and now it's a great finish for Jeremy Bonner.
Makes it.
Time is up
Just
and Megan's on the wall. Sorry.
No, the clock runs out.
She's finally snagged the bonus. She needs to either jump or kind of jump to the right. I don't think the toe hook is the method. I think that stepping across and doing a jump is going to be the way to go. Hopefully she can stick it. She's out of time. This is her last attempt. And hopefully she can give it a good go to jump.
Yeah.
Woo!
She's looking, yeah, she's a little flick there. She's going the right way here. Come on, girl. Oh, unlucky. Megan Mascarenas.
It was a good last effort. That was the farthest she got on that climb, so a great last effort.
Absolutely superb effort there. But
she's not entirely out of the game because she did the second boulder.
No, absolutely. No, she did Boulder 1, yeah. This is Boulder 2.
First boulder, sorry.
And we've still got one more athlete to come from each side. It's Sean McCall and Akiyo Noguchi. And I think I'm right in saying that Akiyo Noguchi was topped, what was it, 5-4 in the semis, 1 there, that's 10. She did 4 in Toronto, then 5. She's topped her last 24 attempts in World Cup climbing because she hasn't failed in Toronto, and she probably did. You know, I'm not even going back past Toronto, so it could be even more than that. If I had a chance, I'd take a look.
Top that many climbs ever, including outdoor. No.
Considering it's World Cup climbing as well, and you know these are tough problems that the guys are setting.
And I said this before, she does not give up. She fights for it. And I'm not saying that the rest of the girls don't fight for it, but you can see it in Akiyo's face how bad she wants it and how hard she's trying.
Yeah. We've just got a slight delay here. I'm just looking at the judge here, and they're taking a look. What do you think they're doing here, Alex? Just having a close look at the takeoff area around problem 2.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, either fixing the tape or maybe fixing the mats. Someone maybe took a bad fall. I don't know. That's not important.
Well, looks like we're ready to go. Yep. So here we go. Akiyo Noguchi and Sean McCall. 2 real stars of the sport. And of course both of them do lead climbing as well, and they're really good at lead climbing.
And it's hard to be good at both bouldering and lead. One takes a lot of power, the other one takes a lot of endurance. And for me personally, it's really, really hard to be well, or to be doing well in both at the same time. That's really impressive. I'm just impressed by everyone and everything.
That's a good attitude to have, though. Akiyo Noguchi on the left here for Japan, and Sean McCall on the right. The wind starts to blow here. There's certainly no dangers that the guys are going to be too hot. I was watching a bit of basketball finals on the air conditioning field, and everybody was sweating all over the place. No danger of that here.
Akiyo having no problem standing up on that start hold. And a really, really good dynamic attempt for Sean. So we've seen some girls jump dynamically to that hold, and then we saw Anna Sture and Akiyo, they've gone statically to this hold. Obviously both methods work. I think I would probably jump, but I don't like to go slow.
Oh, Noguchi does beautifully there.
You saw a lot of hesitation with her before She went for that hold because getting back up there is going to take a lot of effort, and you don't want to waste attempts by making errors. Really, really strong finish by Akio, and she's celebrating, she's excited, she knows she's doing really well in this event.
And it's incredible, because Akio doesn't look very powerful in the arms at all, does she? And somehow she pulls it, and Sean McCall just made a mistake.
He still has 2 minutes and 5 seconds. He can finish this. It's a really precarious finish up there. The bonus hold isn't very good, and the position your body needs to be in when you finish, like when you go from the bonus hold to the finish hold, your body needs to be in a really specific position, and I think getting in that position is really hard for the men.
So Sean McCall, arms folded. That's a good look up there. He's, yeah, I don't think, I've got to be honest, he's probably just reminiscing, because at the end of the day, the way he fell off, that was just an error. He just didn't reach high enough for that final problem, and he knows how to get up there. He just has to make sure in his head that he's doing it the right way.
There have been a lot of run and jumps this weekend. This is like the weekend of the run and jumps. Impressive latch. You can see from this angle how bad that bonus hold is. So he needs to take one hand off of that and stick the equally as bad finish hold, and it's a really strenuous position. And he's got it.
From Team Canada, Sean McCall. Incredible excellence here and dedication on this World Cup stage.
It looks like for the men, he did, yep.
So Sean McCall tops, and that's, we're going to just try and get the results up now and have a look at where we stand after 2 rounds. We'll just load the information up from our database. So Sean McCall hops off with a big smile on his face. He's a happy guy, and he's certainly quite happy. I'm just looking at it on the screen here. You see Gigi Monde in first place at the moment, 2 out of 2. Shoa Futinov in the silver medal position, and Jeremy Bonder in bronze medal with Fishuber McCall. Here's the ladies. Noguchi yet again, 2 out of 3. Equal with Fanny Guibert actually, so that's count back. Then Shauna Coxey in bronze medal position, and Anna Sterling and the other women all on one particular problem. So it's tight, isn't it? It's very tight.
It's going to come down to, well, I can't say because there's still 2 problems left, but from what it looks like right now, it might come down to attempts, which is always, from a route setter's perspective, maybe not the best, but with this scoring format with the bonus in the top and not scoring every hold, that's the way that the field is going to be broken up.
So back to the first bunch. It's Kokoro Fuji on the left-hand side from Japan. This is problem Mend 3, and described by the route setter as a balancy slab, a slow one. So we'll see how that goes. It's quite dark there, isn't it? And then
the first 2 routes for the men have been really dynamic. So this is like I said, going to be a sort of change in gears. They're going to need to sort of slow it down, like slow their heart rate down, and chill on this one.
Well, and also you've probably heard that the girls' problem, the women's problem, this is nothing but power, he said. And in fact, the 4th one was powerful also. And I must admit, when I heard him say that, I thought, well, if Puccio gets to the final, she's going to love seeing 3 and 4.
Exactly. Yep.
I don't know if you saw on the semi-final problem for women before the way she just walked up that final bit. Nobody else found that easy at all, and Puccio just made it look as if it was a walk in the park. I'd like to know what she has for breakfast. But Puccio's not in this final. And she's not here, and that means it's going to be, these last 2 problems of power is really going to be very interesting for the women's competition. And although Akira Noguchi currently in the leaderboard, it's going to be interesting to see how things develop. Looking at the ladies finalists, there's nobody in there you would say is an out-and-out power merchant, is there?
Aside from Puccio, I don't know if there's anyone in the World Cup who's the powerhouse that she is. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Where does it come from?
Yeah. Those shoulders are incredible.
She eats little gymnasts for breakfast. That's what it is.
Yeah, she's scary.
Shauna and Anna they can both be really powerful climbers as well. But
yeah.
yeah.
So Shauna's doing well here. She's got up to the next level. There you see the bonus hold, but slips on the bonus hold.
I don't think they're going to give her control on that. It's interesting how the route is set with the sort of jibs screwed onto the volumes. With the guys, they usually make the guys just climb on the straight volumes, and the girls, they add little holds for us to grab onto. But if there's not much to grab onto, those volumes are bad, and the holds on them are just as bad, and it doesn't make anything easy. I'm rambling at this point, but
No, that's
rock,
cool.
rock climbing's hard.
Shauna's, she's a happy-go-lucky girl, isn't she? She always got a smile on her face. She's just asking the brushes to get to work. But yeah, she's having a little giggle to herself there. She looks a little bit defeated by this problem. You know, just looking at that sort of, she's she's got that face that looks as if it's like, well, I don't really think I've got a chance here, but I might have one last go.
Yeah, and we all know that we all know what that feels like. I definitely know what that feels like, and I honestly think that they're just tired. I mentioned before, it's 9,000 feet up here, about 3,000 meters, and having done 2 rounds before this, the athletes are just tired, and these routes are powerful. They're longer than what they're used to. I think they're more powerful than what they're used to, because that's the U.S. sort of setting. And they're just tired. You know, they're winded. They get down and they're sucking wind, and they're gonna puke.
Shauna's getting ready to go for the last
attractive.
time. 23 seconds to go. Shauna's going to give it one final push, and the same with Fuji here. Both of them have topped one and failed one, and I think it's fair to say that if they harbour any chance of a gold medal, I think both of these athletes need to top this one. Although it's always difficult to say until you've seen some other athletes have a go, isn't it? That's the weird thing with bouldering.
I mean, you never know. This is the 3rd boulder, and it's still up in the air. There's no guaranteed winner at this point.
Absolutely.
It's still anyone's game for the men and the women.
Shauna is up to her spot now. This is where she dropped off last time, but she's got a hold. Can she get the second hand on the bonus?
This method looks like it'll work. I think a right heel hook would have been better, but she could also cross under to where her foot is and grab that other jib like she's about to do right now. You can see she's got her downturned shoes on. This is an overhung climb. She doesn't have her.
And Fuji, meanwhile, has gone off, so that's why the camera's not on him anymore. He fell off quite early, so we're going to stay with Coxie.
A really good last effort. She'll have her downturned shoes on for the next one as well. No more slab climbing for the women. Just 2 steep, powerful boulder problems.
Well, Shauna Coxie, I think she admits herself she possibly hasn't bouldered so well. I do like that moustache, you're right.
Porn stars, Killy.
It's sort of, yeah. He's sort of a
I'm into it.
Ohio police cop sort of type guy. Comes off his motorbike, takes the helmet off.
And look at those looks he's given too. He needs some aviators.
Good one, Killy. We'll have to ask him about that afterwards. So Killian Fischuber is out in the field, and and we've got Marine Fevenier, who is on. Marie Fevenier on the right-hand side. Killian Fischuber on the left. Fischuber currently in 5th place. And Fevenier currently in last place. Alex, I think you've got an update about what those officials are doing to the wall out there.
There was a part of the wall that started picking off, and they just taped it back up.
Okay, walls falling to pieces, fair enough. Well, I did see that happen at an Indy 500 race recently, so part of the track came up, and these cars going at full speed. Fischuber, oh, Fevenier there, what a lovely reach out.
Sticking the bonus on her first try. This is the right heel I was talking about when Shauna was climbing. But now that I look at the body position she's in, I do think maybe Shauna had the better method, swinging her feet over and going heels first. You know, left heel on instead of a right heel. That did look more secure to me than the right heel. Your body's just not in the right position.
I think the route setter, when he said that the men's problem was just a bouncy slab, but quite a slow one, and the women's was just nothing but power.
They weren't kidding.
He was spot on. The route setters are, I gotta say, absolutely amazing guys here. They you know, the sort of, you know, the pressure they're under to set problems that distinguish between the athletes to start with is incredible. But they also set some really interesting problems, don't they?
And to know how to break up the field and what to expect, like to know how good these athletes are, what they're capable of, even what they're capable of after 2 other rounds of climbing. It's impressive to sort of gauge that. And usually, I'm not sure about this, I'm guessing usually the finals problems are just a little bit easier than the semifinals problems because they know that these athletes are tired and they want to see people get to the top. That's not a fact, that's me speculating, just so everyone knows, don't quote me. But it does seem, you know, people are getting to the top more in finals, and they, you know, you want to see that. The crowd wants to see that.
Fishuber's off again. He's asking for the wall to be brushed, which is something you don't see very often. Don't brush the volume. Quite a bit of choke actually on this wall. They've had events here for quite a long time. I think it was back in 2006, I believe, when they started here in Vail. The mountain games have been going back to 2001. So
the World Cup, the first year was 2008.
2008, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for the
I would
correction.
know.
But I think they had a couple of other smaller tournaments beforehand for a couple
Yep.
of years.
I've been doing this event since 2003, and I think that the mountain games have been an event since, you're right, about 2000, 2001.
It's an absolutely wonderful atmosphere, and a nice benefit, of course.
And they're way bigger now than they have been. Awesome 3-finger latch. That's total tendon strength right there on the women's problem. Killian again slipping off. Men's number 3. Matching this looks really hard. That hold's really small. There's not a lot of edge to match on, and she's sort of piano matching her fingers, her left hand out of the way to get her right hand on. I think she's... Oh, it's frustrating. It looks like the right heel is working. Shauna's Beth, it was not the only way.
Yeah. Well, 10 seconds to go. Fevigné, she might have one last go. Killian Fishuber looking at the clock. Fevigné's going to have it. She's going to get on quickly. 2, 1. I don't think she's going to be allowed there. I'm pretty sure that buzzer.
That doesn't
She's
matter.
Anyway. Yeah, that would have been controversy. She'd have topped there.
This is his last attempt. If you're listening at home, you're lucky you get to listen to us, and not the announcer here.
Remember, you can tweet on the hashtag IFSCWC and Fishuber. Now this is the big move for him. This is the big move.
Huge move to a really small hold that looks like an undercling. He's gonna need maybe a right heel hook or a right toe scum to stand up into this. Yeah.
Oh, an absolutely tiny pinch hold at the top.
Really I'll be interested to see how the other men do this. And with Gigi coming up next, he's flashed the first 2 problems. So
He has.
it'll be cool to see what he does here. That finish hold looks,
Gigi
it's
Monday.
upside down, you know? You have to hit it with your thumbs, your thunder clinging.
Monday here of France. He's top of the leaderboard. And he really is a man in form at the moment. Was superb in Toronto. Took the gold there. And on the right-hand side is Fanny Guibert of France. She's having a good look here. Guibert is 21 years old. Monday 27, which in climbing terms is getting on a bit, really, isn't it? Graham Alderson was telling me about a man who was 39 who's won the World Championships and named him as his best ever climber.
I mean, even in previous years, you look at Cécile Avizu and Olga Bibic and Olga Shaladina, they were all, I think, in their 30s, and all 3 of them had still, you know, they still made finals. Yeah. It's impressive, and honestly, it's good for me to know that you can still climb that hard.
Yeah.
Well into your 40s, even. Cécile, 43, and had 4 kids, and she was still making finals at a World Cup. It's awesome.
Incredible, isn't it? And of course, in climbing gyms all around the world, you get kids as young as 3 and 4 giving it a go. I've got a little 7-year-old who absolutely worships climbing, and he couldn't believe the wall when I showed it him on my phone. And then, of course, it goes through to being, you got granddads and grandmas climbing. It's a sport that does truly span all the generations.
This is a cool angle for the women's climb to show how steep the wall is and what they're grabbing, the holds that they're grabbing, they aren't good, especially on this steep of an angle.
Yeah, this is a beautiful view, absolutely. You really see why it is so tough for the women here. This is against the vertical. A real incline here.
Impressive stick for the women. Again, that's all tendons right there. Those 3 fingers hanging by your tendons.
We are from Team Chris, looking for a send on this.
Oh, unlucky.
Cool helicopter dismount, but she's probably frustrated with that. I think that she knows to maybe try the left heel hook method. I don't know that the right heel hook method is the best way. We did see it work both times, but I would kick my foot out left. I don't know what I would do, but it looked better that way.
Now, I saw a tweet here which is quite interesting that, we're at 9,000 feet here, and one of the questions, I suppose, is climbing at such height. What difference is there from an actual, competition athlete's point of view, climbing at such a height?
For me, personally, I came from Long Beach, California. That's dead sea level. This elevation game, for me, was really hard. I was sucking wind just walking up the stairs to my hotel room. I'd come down from a boulder problem and just be panting. I felt like I couldn't get enough water, so all of these athletes, I'm sure, are experiencing the same thing. You feel dehydrated, you feel tired, you feel like you can't breathe, deep breaths. Obviously, this isn't extreme mountaineering that we're talking about, but for bouldering competitions, this elevation is difficult. It's harder to breathe and it's harder to perform at your level because your oxygen's not getting to your muscles and they're getting tired faster.
Thanks for the answer. It is certainly quite apparent that the air is thinner here. You're sat next to an Englishman who went out in the midday sun and burnt a layer of skin off. Which,
I'm fried to a crisp. I forgot to wear sunscreen in watching semifinal.
Oh no!
Fried to a crisp.
It's it is Monday and Gilbert, the 2 Frenchies. Their last chance. 10 seconds to go. Well, actually, you can see we're just a couple of seconds out. 5 seconds to go. Is Gilbert going to be on in time? Monday, yes, both of them just make it. So here we go.
So far, no one has completed either of the 2 problems for the men or the women. We have had bonuses hit, but no tops. And that's Fanny Guibert's final attempt, and now Gigi is the only one on the wall. Last attempt, trying to go as slow as he can, balancing his way across these volumes.
Well, that's opened up. Guibert coming off there. She currently topped both problems, so that's her first failure. And that's possibly opened things up for people like Stur and Mascarena. So, and of course Coxey, who herself Coxey so far only top 1 problem so far. Gigi Monday.
This is such an interesting sequence. What Killian did when he went was the inside flag to hit that little jib, and it worked. I'm not sure what the setters intended specifically, or how the forerunners did it. It'd be interesting to compare this with footage of how the forerunners set the problems and did the moves.
Absolutely.
I'd be interested to see how this problem gets done.
Men's problem 3 has yet to be resolved, as you say. We've had 3 athletes have a go and 3 failures. And same on the ladies as well. The women's competition, 3 attempts and 3 failures so far. She is actually in first place on the basis that she did get the bonus on that particular one. So here we go. The world champion, Dmitry Sharafutdinov of Russia. And on the right-hand side, it's Anna Stur. Incredibly bright there. And so far, nobody has solved either of these problems. Let's see what happens.
I could see Dmitry and Anna being the first to do this, or, getting the farthest. This style of climbing is not out of Anna's element, and that style is not out of Dmitry's element. Obviously, they've both, Dmitry's just reached almost the high point. He needs to stand up on those holds and get his thumb in the right spot. Anna using the cross method. Didn't work out. That cross just opens you up and you helicopter off, and Dmitry going slow to the finish. He needs to stand up and get his thumb in. Slower. I think he needs to get his foot higher.
So Shofudinov came off at his first attempt, as did Stur, and both of them will sit back and take a little bit of time here. Just quick summary of where we're standing here while we've got a gap. Fanny Guibert currently top with 2 tops out of 3. Noguchi in second, but she's yet to have an attempt here. And Coxey currently third, having topped just 1. Stur in fourth, having topped once. Fevigny and Mascarenas in 5th and 6th. As for the men, Gigi Monde currently top with 2 tops out of 2 attempts. Shofudinov 2 tops out of 3 attempts. Then McCall 2 tops out of 9 attempts. And Boulder 2 tops out of 12 attempts. With Fishuber with 1 top and Fuji 1 top in 5th and 6th. So it's possibly pretty important for Fishuber to try and get a top there. So at the moment, and in fact, look at this, Shofudinov. Now will his height pay here? He's going to do a little jump on this one. Oh!
A really impressive finish there. Dynamic up to a thumb undercling. A very small hold to hit when you're doing that. Barn door, I think he got a little toe scum as soon as he hit the top. Really cool finish move.
So here's Anna Stur, and that means Shofudinov goes to the top of the leaderboard now, because Gigi Monde did not top there, so far the Russian world champion is the only person to have done 3 out of 3.
Leading feet first here on this climb, I think is gonna benefit her. Yep, the same method that Shauna Coxey used has gotten her up and around the corner. This is a high point for the women. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean anything because the hold she's on right now isn't worth any points. She needs to get the finish in order for it to count. Match it. Celebrating before the match is always really risky, but it looks like she got it, and she's psyched, she's celebrating.
What an incredible climb there.
No waving before matching, none.
2 absolute legends of the sport just came out. That problem not cracked by any of the 3 previous athletes.
And that's why they're the best.
And that's why they're so good. Anna Stur, who was in 5th place, that will really have turned it over a little bit, and I think that's going to put her into 2nd or 3rd. I think
At
it's
least
3rd
third,
place, yeah. With 1 climb yet to go. And as for Shofudinov, he is now in gold medal spot, and it's his to lose. If he tops problem 4, then he's got it. Here we go. Jeremy Boulder, who is currently in 4th place. He's topped both problems so far. And on the right is Megan Mascarenas, currently in 6th place.
Young Megan, this looks like a style that Megan could excel at. More powerful climbing. She's a strong climber. I don't think she likes the slabby, sort of slow, static stuff so much. She is a dynamic climber. She's got strong fingers. I think that she could do well on this problem.
And she's holding on well there. This is certainly a toughie. Boulder, meanwhile, he's managed to get through to the bonus, and now it's the final stage here. Mascarenas comes off. She can hold her head up, can't she, having qualified for the final even.
Absolutely.
There's no, and here comes Boulder. Oh my goodness, he reaches there, doesn't need to jump.
Crazy finish, and that shows just how awkward and weird that last move is and how impressive it was that Dimitri went dynamic to it.
You know, sometimes I would really like to see a replay of Fishuber versus Boulder to just see where the foot position was, and it might be something that in the future that we'll start doing a little bit of, just to say, well, look, this is why Fishuber didn't make it. Here's why Boulder made it, because there's no doubt, maybe Fishuber's foot were just an inch further down, and that was the difference why he had to make the attempt to jump. Well, Boulder is right back in the thick of it, just like Anna Stur was after that last jump. In fact, Boulder goes into silver medal spot with 3 out of 3 attempts.
Megan fighting her way up this steep and powerful women's number 3 here. She needs to really push with that left foot out to the bonus. Yeah. Like that, but hold it next time.
It's easy to say.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine, you just do this. I wouldn't know, I got 26th. Don't do what I do what I say.
So Alex, you gave us an interview earlier, and it is on the YouTube channel. You're seriously going to come over to Munich and give it a good go in Munich?
I committed.
Yep, you've said it in front of camera now.
I've committed,
You can't pull out now. And Munich's beautiful.
It'll be fun, yeah.
Later in the year, you know, so... and I suppose also it's great to catch up with a lot of old friends from around the tour, and that must be a highlight here coming to Vail, that there's people you've become friends with on the tour that, you know, you get to meet again and talk about and
Yep, absolutely.
discuss. And one of the things that certainly, you know, I think a lot of the ladies have said, you know, a lot of the women have said is that, you know, they feel that the level of women's climbing has certainly jumped up since the end of last season.
Yeah.
Something has happened. Anna Sturr said this as well, that something seemed to have happened last winter.
There's more strong people making an appearance on the scene. The current competitors are getting stronger, so with the new people coming up and the current competitors getting stronger, the field is getting so much more intense.
Here's Megan. This is the big push. Here she goes. Oh! Great effort from Megan Mascarenhas. Is she going to have one last go? 8 seconds?
Doesn't look like it.
I don't think so.
Don't think she has time.
I don't blame her, really. That was, she put in a big move there. Did Megan.
The fourth problem looks to be her style anyway. It might be a good idea to not waste more energy on this third problem.
So our final athletes on problem 3. And so far, just looking at the leaderboard, Dmitry Sharafutdinov leading 3 tops out of 5 attempts. Jeremy Bonder in second place, 3 tops out of 14 attempts. I can't do maths. And Sean McCall, if he tops here, he will put himself into bronze medal position. In fact, if he does it in only a few attempts, he'll go into silver medal spot. So a real chance here. As for Noguchi, she's currently in second place, even before climbing here. If she tops this, she's going to be the only woman with 3 tops. And, well, you could almost say, if she flashes this, she has got the gold. She's only done 4 attempts.
It would be really impressive and not surprising if she was able to pull this off.
Yeah, I'm very curious about this. We said earlier in the commentary, she doesn't look very strong, but I'm looking at those shoulders now.
This is Sean's first attempt.
Oh my goodness, Sean McCall. Oh. That was so close.
He is one of the shorter competitors, so this last move for him is going to be harder. He's going to have to go more dynamically like Killian.
Yeah. Here's Noguchi.
Bonus on her first try.
Yeah. Oh, and look out.
Now
this is what we talk about poetry in motion. You know, Mascarenhas and quite a few of the other athletes, it was all huff and puff here. Oh, she's holding on.
You can see on her face how hard she's trying. She's got a heel hook on her fingertips right now.
Oh my goodness.
And that's the hardest. That's it. Like, that's the hardest that you could try physically.
Akio Noguchi.
It looks like she's going for a flash.
Well,
if she can nail the top of this, I do think that she'll be in the gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, Akio Noguchi,
I do
believe she's got her gold medal already, and we've not even got to problem 4. But that is just absolutely amazing climbing, isn't it?
So impressive and not surprising for Akio to pull something out like that. That's why she's one of the best, you know? And that's where experience comes in, is you saw Anna finish that problem, you saw Akio finish that problem. They've been doing World Cups for years.
Yes.
They know what needs to be done.
And that being a power problem, I would certainly not put Akio down as a powerful athlete, but she just ate that problem up and flashed it.
When we saw her here for the first time in Vail in 2008, she wasn't that powerful and she wasn't that dynamic, and she's improved dramatically since her first American World Cup debut, and we can see it, you know?
The cheers are coming here for Sean McCall. This is the North American entrant in the men's final, and they're giving him a big push. He's going to go for the jump. Can he get the pinch hold? He does!
That is unbelievably impressive body coordination to be able to jump up and nail an undercling and heel hook at the same time. Not only are you, it's not a double dyno with your hands, it's a double movement with one hand and one foot. And with Sean being so short, that's the only way that he could have done that, is to throw for the finish and simultaneously throw a heel hook at the same time. And that takes really impressive body coordination.
Absolutely. Well, let's quickly have a look at the scoreboard before the athletes come out for problem 4. Dmitry Sharafudinov in the gold medal position. That's 3 tops in 5 attempts. Sean McCall, 3 tops in 12 attempts. And Jeremy Boulder, 3 tops in 14 attempts. In fact, it's all in front of you there. That's not been updated. Sean McCall is actually now in 2nd place. So that's slightly out of date, but I'm looking at a screen in front of me, which gives me slightly more up-to-date information. That is correct for Akio Noguchi. I think it's fair to say she's probably nailed the gold already. And in only 4 attempts. In fact, she has, because she's going to win on countback over Guibert anyway. So Akio Noguchi has the gold in her pocket. Then it's Guibert, Storr, Coxey. And interestingly, it looks like Guibert and Storr are going to be fighting away for the silver medal. Here's Shauna Coxey, who's in 4th place. A must top now.
And this is where it comes down to the 4th and final problem. And we saw earlier when Anna Storr struggled on the first 2 problems, she is now still sitting in silver medal position. And her and Shauna will be battling it out. And it is, at this point, for 2nd place, anyone's game.
So here we go, Shauna Coxey on the left. And it's Kokoro Fuji and Coxey. This is power, isn't it?
This is a really crowd-friendly boulder problem with that jump right off the bat and then a campus move. It's going to get the crowd amped.
Yep.
A very showy, flashy boulder problem, and for the 4th climb, that's what you want. You know, you want to see people swinging around and flying around and get to the top.
So here's Kokoro Fuji. Yeah, the route setter's description was dynamic at the start and powerful at the top for the women. And for the men, it was a tricky start, but dynamic moves to the top. And it is certainly quite a tricky one, this one for the men, isn't it? There's, these holds do look quite strange, and certainly there's it's going to be interesting to see some of the athletes taking this on later. Here comes Shauna Coxey for attempt number 2. Coxey's down again. Requests a bush while she's down. Shauna has had an incredible run of late. 2nd, 1st, and 2nd in her last 4 events. She really has been a form girl.
Yeah, it's been a really impressive season for her. And Fuji's up again, and we saw when the men were previewing, they were trying to figure out if they were going to face the wall or, you know, turn out and face out of the wall. And it looks like they've decided to face in, or just left him out of the plan. I don't know. We'll see what the rest of them come up with. But I think for this problem, you could face in or out, and it would work either way.
Just to say, for those of you joining late, it's Alex Johnson who's in on commentary, not Alex Puccio. He
Hi.
just detected the voice.
Johnson.
Johnson.
Yep, Johnson.
2 Alexes at the top of USA climbing.
Come on, guys.
You don't normally get sort of misinformed.
Do I sound like Puccio?
I don't think so,
I don't
really,
think
but
so either.
I think possibly people don't know what Alex sounds like. We've done enough interviews with her over the years.
Johnson.
Miss Johnson, no doubt. There's only one. Only one AJ. Kokoro Fuji here, having another attempt on M4. And he might as well give it all. Look at him, he looks absolutely exhausted there. These problems have been quite testing. And, you know, physically, when you come off problems like this, you are absolutely exhausted, aren't you?
You're pumped. Not only are you exhausted, but you're pumped. Like, you're using your hands and your forearms more than any other muscle to keep yourself on the wall. And your forearms get really, really tired.
Shauna Coxey, give it all on this last one. But I think she's realised that the energy is out of the arms, and she's put in a big effort in a few previous attempts, and it could be good night Vienna for Shauna. And she'll be finishing out with the medal. She'll have one more big attempt. The time is running down. In fact, Shauna only qualified for the final by the skin of her teeth. Angie Payne and Alex Puccio both really close to toppling her. Oh, well, she's made the jump. Now the next stage. Oh!
And that's the final showing for Shauna.
There's a big round of applause from the audience here. Kokoro Fuji and Shauna Coxey exit the stage.
They should both be pleased with how they did. You know, making finals is hard enough as it is. It's always a bonus to get on the podium and especially win, but just making finals is so hard that they can't be that disappointed, you know?
Fuji will finish in 6th place, there's no doubt about that. Coxey currently in 4th place. So it looks like, looking at the list, it looks like the medal's going to be Noguchi, Guibert and Stor. With Noguchi, looks like she's going to the gold, and Guibert and Stor are going to be battling for the silver on this problem. As for the men's is a little bit more open. Fischuber, actually, I've got to say, Fischuber will not be getting a medal today. He's only top 1 problem, and there are 3 men who've top 3 problems. So this doesn't really matter for Killian, but it'll be interesting to see how he attacks this problem.
This is what I was explaining when Fuji was climbing. It did look like the men sort of talked about turning around and facing out to start this climb, and maybe like language barrier or something, but we'll see how this goes.
Marine Fevenier on the left as well. She won't be medaling either today, so this problem is immaterial to her, but it's a real good chance to show off what you can do. Fischuber makes it to the next level. Beautiful hold here.
Grabbing
He gets the
bonus.
bonus.
Yep. This climb is really similar to the women's 3rd problem in semifinals, where they had to turn around and jump up and grab the bonus. Really impressive moves for Killy. If any of you were here in 2008 watching, it was this same kind of movement that put Killian in 1st place at that first World Cup on US soil. He needs to rock up over that heel and grab the finish, and there it is.
Absolutely beautiful performance.
Outstanding final showing for Killian. Unfortunately, you said he's not going to medal, but that's still a baller way to go out.
Well, he's shown us that that problem can be done. And here comes Marine Fevenier now of France. It's going to be interesting because the climbers in the background will have heard the cheers. They'll have known and seen that, you know, you see the guys come back round, don't you? So you know that Fischuber was just topped.
Unless you have headphones on, which a lot of the girls do, you know what's going on. And honestly, the headphone strategy is so they don't know what's going on, because it adds pressure. When you hear the crowd cheer and you don't see, or you see the girl come back who did it, you know you have to get to the top. You don't know how many tries you need, but you know you have to get to the top, and that gets in your head. So wearing headphones and not being able to hear the crowd is a good strategy.
Absolutely. Well, Fischuber won't medal here, but he's shown that problem 4 is possible for the men. And as for the women, Fevenier having difficulty here. This looks like a real toughie for the girls.
This is a problem I think that Puccio would annihilate.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we don't get to see that tonight. We'll see if Akio can pull one out. Anna Stroh is still left, Megan Mascarenas. This style isn't unknown to them with the jump and then a powerful campus move, but
yeah,
it would be cool to see Puccio climb on this one.
It would be, actually, isn't it? It's, you know, just because you know that, you know, the way that she can destroy problems, which other athletes, and we saw it with F4 in the semi-finals. If you get the opportunity, have a little look at the women's problem F4 in the semi-finals, and all the top athletes, even Noguchi, having to struggle a little bit to get there. And Puccio, ironically, it took her 3 attempts to actually make the little jump across, which everybody else was doing first time with no problem whatsoever. Once she got there, within 2 or 3 seconds, she was at the top, and you were like, hold on a minute, aren't you supposed to be struggling on this bit? That was incredible power from Puccio. But she isn't here, and that has opened it up. And fair enough, Alex, to say, Alex Puccio will be watching this. And she will actually be really frustrated. These 2 problems are her problems.
An interesting method. I don't think, I mean, that'll work, yeah.
Oh.
I don't think the feet first thing would have gone, but her time is up now. This is her final attempt. Standing up to this next right hand hold looks like the really powerful bit. She's gonna have to go right hand and then bump again with the right hands. Riding that right heel off that left hand. Her left hand's gonna be really tired. Bumping up again, right hand. that's going to be the really powerful move. And that's where the fitness and the power really comes into play, is when you have to do hard moves like that at the end of already doing 18 boulder problems.
Yeah. And that's the thing with that particular problem with the bouldering. You've put so much effort into getting there, and then they're asking you to do it again. And
not over.
No. So, here we go. Gigi Monde he's actually currently in 4th place now, which is incredible. He failed to top problem 3, and as we've discussed, it's so tight, isn't it? He was leader. He's been amazing. He didn't top problem 3, and now he's out of the medals.
And there he goes, turning around, using the method that Killian used. I'm not going to jinx him, but I think I know it's going to happen.
Fanny Gibert at the moment, she's going to have a little battle here with Anna Sturr for the silver medal. So this is going to be interesting here to see how she goes. But the bonus is not an easy bonus either, so it could be down to a bonus.
No, and it did seem in this surprising fall by Guillaume. In this weekend, a lot of the bonuses were placed higher than they had been in the past. Like, we saw a lot of bonuses be 1 hold below the finish hold, and it means that if you don't get near the end, you don't get any points.
So Gigi Monde on the right, and Guibert. Lovely hold, but the people are cheering here for that little dyno move, but there's so much more to go yet. That's just a start, Fanny. And yeah, she was struggling there with a hold, looking to try and make the next move. It's almost like 2 problems in one. Usually you see there's like 2 really difficult areas. That one seems to have 3.
It's sticking the dyno, throwing that right heel, and then sticking the next hold, and then throwing another right heel and sticking the next 2 holds. It's like there's 3 cruxes.
Yes. Oh, Monde's so close there. That hold is so tiny. It's just like a piece of tape that's been put there. There's just nothing to grip onto. A question somebody asked me in a previous event is that, do you do anything to try and make your skin on your fingertips a little bit more, have more friction to it? Yeah, can you rub them with sandpaper or something?
So when you get,
they are incredibly hard fingertips.
Thank you. I've worked really hard on them.
I've never felt a lady's fingertips so hard before. Those are very, very hard hands, obviously, because you're an international climber. But yeah, very thick indeed, yeah.
You want thick skin. Oh, she stuck the bonus there. You do want thick skin, and taking care of your skin is really important. A lot of the girls said that after Canada, they had really thin skin because it was so hot and they were grabbing slopers that it pulled all of their skin off. So using products to help cure your skin, like the Joshua Tree skincare and sandpapering the calluses so you don't rip. Like, if your calluses get too big, you can catch them on a hold and they'll rip off and turn into a flapper. So skincare and skin maintenance is a really important part of climbing.
Yeah. Great answer, Alex. Here's Gigi. The MC here is getting everybody to shout "Allez!" It certainly does fire the French crowd up.
This is a really difficult, dynamic move for the men. When they stick it, it's all fingertips, it's all tendons, and then their bodies just open up and they're holding all their body weight on 3 fingertips. Even for climbers, that's really impressive still.
Oh, Monde. I think it was his footing just went there. That was so incredible. Now, do remember, we're on the hashtag IFSCWC. Do send us a tweet. We do read all of them. We have all our computers back up and running now, thankfully. And do send us a tweet. I am keeping an eye out. I do realise it is crazy time over in Europe. It's something like 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning. So you guys in Europe, if there's anybody who's still watching in Austria, come and say hi to us on Twitter. Guibert, she's never made it past here. This is the difficult one now.
Throwing that right, she needs that right heel. She doesn't need it. Okay, now she needs it, and she's got I'm just gonna stop talking because the way that I would do it is not this at all. All right, cool.
Oh my goodness.
That totally worked. That's not the sequence that I saw, but it totally worked. And that's climbing for you, you know?
Yeah. She's just shown the way to do it. And here comes Monday now. Here's the big push for the final one. His arms will be killing. This is his last attempt. The clock is out.
You can tell he's tired here. His movements are a little strained. He needs to match on top of his... I'm not giving beta anymore. He needs to match the finish hold.
He's got to get the second hand on. He does it. He doesn't even have the energy to land properly.
Exhausting finish for him. To finish the last problem on your last attempt, he's got to be so tired.
He was crawling off the stage. Oh, he's on his feet now, thankfully. Oh, I think a route setter can certainly say that if the climber crawls off problem at 4, then you've done your job. He will be very happy.
I am Cindy O'Neill and with DJ AJ. We will be with you throughout the remainder of this World Cup final and through our citizens comp tomorrow. Please welcome back Austria's Anna Stur and Russia's Dmitry Sharafutinov.
Out next for the men and the women, we have Dmitry Sharafutinov and Anna Stur. Currently, Anna's number 2 on the world ranking. Both competitors, not strangers to the event getting down to the wire. You know, both of them are really good at pulling it out at the end, and we'll see what they both can do here. Anna's going for the silver, battling for second place. We'll see where Dimitri's standing here in a second. This climb does seem like a style that both of them will excel at, but I'm not calling anything anymore.
Nice to see a few people, 1:22 in the morning in the UK. Anna Stur, this is on her first attempt, and world champion Dmitry Sharafutinov. He's in the gold medal spot now. These are the big names, and Anna Stur, this, ladies and gentlemen, looks like a flash. Oh!
It does seem... Yeah, I didn't say anything. That does look like the intended beta, but the way that we saw Fanny Guibert from France do that, she got 2 throwing for the finish hold, and she went left hand to that last orange hold. And to me, it looks like you would go right, but obviously she proved that you can go right, left, and still have a shot at latching the finish hold. So we'll see the method that Anna gives here. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock, and both Dmitry and Anna have plenty of time and hopefully enough juice for a couple more good goes.
Okay, having a quick look at the tweets on IFSC. Some in Japanese there, very nice. Tommy Matthews in the UK, 1:22. Well done, Tommy. Innsbruck, 2:22. Mr. Setner, you're doing a great effort. Nice to see Project Climbing from the UK. And Logan Wilson. Oh, there's a lot of people still watching this. I know we've got a fair few thousand watching this live, and it's spooky to think that there's going to be there's going to be over 100,000 watching this over the next year or so, listening to us going on about world class climbing. But
God, hopefully they're a little entertained.
I think so. Well, more by you than me, of course. But it is just quite incredible being here. And, you're going to be all watching this in the comfort of your own home in future years. This is quite an incredible atmosphere here. And the Vail Valley Foundation really have put together what has been an incredible show. And credit to them, they've made this a standout show of Saturday afternoon before we get into the music in the evening. So this is the warm-up. Everybody goes home, gets changed, and then goes out for the night.
This is where everyone is in Vail Village right now. I was never good at that game where you'd have to guess the number of marbles in the jar, but to me it looks like there are thousands of people watching. I don't know, at least a couple thousand.
I'm told there's just over 2,000 that are in there. If it's full, believe me, it is absolutely crammed there. People were sat down, but what's happened is that so many people have tried to get in, they've actually all decided they've got to stand up so that they can squeeze them in. And you can see nothing but heads here. Anna's looking for a bit of support. She gets them going. And Anna, you're fighting for a silver medal here.
40 seconds left on the clock, so if they do fall on this attempt, they will have time to try it again.
Come on, Anna. Come on, Dmitry. Oh.
Getting so near the finish. This could be it for Anna, putting her in silver, and she missed it. But with 15 seconds left, she still has time to get on, but I think she's going to be really tired. And this is Dimitri's final attempt. All fingers there. Some of the strongest fingers in the game, in my opinion. The clock is out. This is his last attempt. I don't think going right hand to that is a good idea.
Anna had a final chance, and she actually came up early. She was rushing to get on the problem. Anna Sturer's finished. Here is Sharafutdinov.
Finger tipping his way to the top. He might have been more comfortable with a heel, but he does it anyway. Celebrating in victory with a heinous looking finish.
The gold medal goes to the world champion. He's celebrating on the mat. Dmitry Sharafutdinov has taken the gold with 4 tops. And now the stage is set. We still have 2 climbers to go, and 2 climbers who are still battling for silver and bronze. Sharafutdinov has got the gold. 4 tops in 8 attempts, and McCall and Boulder have already had more than 8 attempts. So even if they flash these problems, they cannot overtake Sharafutdinov. So it's Jeremy Boulder, who is certain to medal, his first ever medal in a World Cup. And on the left, it's Megan Mascarenas.
Young Megan, 16 years old, the only American in finals at this event. You know this crowd's behind her.
In the medals, but you know, this is an absolute learning curve.
Nevertheless, yeah, she's got to be stoked about this result.
She can be very proud, and certainly some of the names who didn't even make the final, but you know, she's actually competing for the USA. And the occasional star who didn't make the semis either. Of course, you won it here in 2010.
2008.
2008.
And then I was second in 2009.
So you really blew onto the scene. It was your first event, wasn't it? Your first, I remember we talked about it.
It was my first World Cup, yeah.
What a way to start a World Cup, to win it in front of your home
my
crowd.
expectations have totally been altered.
You've been discovered you were human after all. But you know, the competition is so fierce out there, isn't it? And
it's only getting harder. Every year it only gets harder. I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit.
yes, this is the problem being a commentator. It's the vocal cords.
Screaming earlier.
So Jeremy Boulder, do you think that he'll be aware? Well, he must be aware. He's topped all 3 problems. He knows that some have failed. He'll be aware in his head that he's going for a medal of some sort here. So he'll be giving it 100% full on. Megan Mascarenas probably also aware that she's going to be out of the medals. But sure luck on this. Hope you're enjoying the 1080p HD stream. Vail Valley Foundation have just given us the most amazing internet. Even though, I can't believe we're 9,000 feet up in the mountains and somehow we've got an incredible connection line, which I seem to struggle back home with when we're in the second biggest city in the UK. Jeremy Boulder, just trying to get his body position here. So this is the big move to get to the bonus. Mascarenas is up there. She's done well there. She's trying to get her foot up.
She's no stranger to dynamic movement, so she should be able to latch this, but she's definitely tired. And there she goes. Really exciting for Megan getting up the finish up here. The crowd is behind her fully. It would be awesome if her final showing on this World Cup was to send this climb. She's pumped. You can see her arm, her right arm chicken winging out there. You know she's pumped. And there it is, Megan Mascarenas, the only girl so far to top the final boulder problem. She's celebrating, she's stoked. The crowd is super loud. An awesome, awesome final showing for Megan Mascarenas. The crowd is chanting USA. Super impressive. Little powerhouse 16-year-old Megan Mascarenas.
We're going to see a lot more of this girl. We had a 16-year-old, we had Yulia Kruder, and a 17-year-old in Nanaki of Japan in the final in Toronto. Here's another 16-year-old. The future of climbing is going to be pretty strong, because in 4 years' time or so, they're going to be at their peak and really tough to beat.
And after this experience and 4 more years of experience, Megan's going to be, honestly, I think comparable with Puccio, you know, in experience and and competitiveness. I think that she's got it and she could go far. And I've said this before, none of us were surprised to see her in finals.
Well, she's the first athlete to complete problem 4, and there's only Akio Noguchi to go. Sorry, there's yes, Akio Noguchi just to go now.
This is something I definitely think Akio can do. I don't know if she knows she doesn't have to do it. She's already secured first place, but I do think that she can do this.
Yeah.
But how awesome to see little American Megan Rasmussen be the only girl so far to do that fourth problem.
It is absolutely incredible. Let's make this sport so much fun. Well, here we are. We're coming towards the end. So here we go. This is the final 2.
From Team Japan, Akio Noguchi.
Akio has already secured the gold. Sean has already secured bronze. If Sean does this climb, it bumps him into silver, but he is already in third place. He's already getting a medal here.
Absolutely.
So is Akio.
Yep. Sharafudinov will get the gold. Monday will get the silver. And McCall will get the bronze. As you say, the medals are already decided. It's exhibition time, guys. Let's see what you can do.
Back in 2008, you would have seen Akio take 6 tries to do that dyno, and this time she nailed it. She's definitely been practicing. She's obviously improved, and she's clearly dominating this field here this year in 2014.
Beautiful shot here. They're going hold for hold, these two. Oh, unlucky.
Sean just missed.
Almost the same move as well, wasn't it? Both of them going for that little right arm over. And Noguchi, this girl, she's just on a different planet. Look at that hold.
Fully dominating the field, celebrating. She knows she's won. That didn't look so bad for her. I don't know.
A flash on problem 4. Ladies and gentlemen,
she is unstoppable.
Your women's champion, Akio Noguchi, yet again. She just tops everything that people are giving her. The rune setters are going to have to get the manual back out and start trying something different.
Maybe she's been eating baby gymnasts for breakfast.
Yeah. Right, the latest news as well, I'm told, is that actually puts her top of the world rankings for the World Cup circuit. So thanks there for some input from the background there.
The crowd is chanting. Whatever, I already had a shot today. Chanting. Sean.
Yes. Sean is he's certainly asking for a little bit more brushing. I'm not sure. You know, it's always tough in this situation, isn't it? You know, is he actually aware that he doesn't, you know, that there is no medal at stake here, or, you know, do you try and keep an idea in your head? Do you keep a little
It's so hard to
leaderboard?
gauge. I mean, you know when someone's done something, but you don't know where it puts you. And for him, he's already got bronze, but if he does this, he'll be silver. So he doesn't know that. I'm the only one who knows that because I know everything. He looks frustrated here.
Yeah, he won't get silver. Oh, sorry, no, he will get silver if he does this. You're absolutely right. He's going for a medal here. He doesn't seem to be. Yeah, says his knee that he's just testing out. He seems to have got a little bit of tape behind his left knee, and I think it was that knee that he was getting some quite serious little attention to in the background. 1 minute to go.
He's such an awesome competitor to watch. He's really fierce. He tries hard. He's entertaining. He gets the crowd amped. I mean, you can see it on his face. He wants it. He's competitive. He knows what he's capable of, and asking the crowd for support, he's excited. He wants to do this. He wants this. And I want him to do it too.
Come on, Sean. And remember, there's a lot of people back in Toronto cheering you on as well. That incredible crowd that we had there. 20 seconds to go. This is his final attempt for sure. For the silver medal.
Holding this campus move is super impressive. This
Right.
is a straight power climb for the men. He just needs to get his aim a little better on this jump, and he's got a shot of finishing this.
This is where he struggled last time. He's held it now. Oh, no.
He didn't hold it, but that was one of the most impressive things ever.
Well,
An awesome showing from Sean McCall, thanking the crowd, and he's guaranteed bronze medal.
well, he puts his hands to his head there because I think he knows he should have held on to there. He actually, you know, his weight just took him off it, and he got the grip, hadn't he?
I think if he'd have kept his left hand on the bonus, he would have been able to hold that swing, but as soon as his left hand came off.
So we'll have a quick look at the leaderboard if possible. You see all the athletes are out just congratulating each other. There's the crowd. Oh, there's a massive crowd out there, isn't there? Some of them are heading off to go and get changed. There's the Japanese contingent. Look at this. They're such a happy bunch as well. They're always smiling, always laughing.
Akio.
Oh, they are very happy with Akio. Killian and Sean, they're obviously good mates. What a great atmosphere here at the GoPro Mountain Games.
Judges, leaders, and our route center on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Well, this is the chaos part now, where everybody runs all over the place. And Alex, just going to say, thank you very much. Really great having you on board.
Of course, absolutely. I love talking about rock climbing.
No, you're great.
I do it a lot.
It's just always lovely to listen to you. You've got a very good voice. It's easy on the ear as well, so it comes across wonderfully.
They don't tell me that when I sing.
Well, maybe we'll see you in Munich, and maybe, well, no, we won't be able to, because you'll be in the final, of course.
Yeah.
So we won't get you
comeback.
for commentary in the final. But here is the official leaderboard for the men, and confirmation of Sharafuddinov, Monde and McCall, gold, silver and bronze. Boulder just missing out on a number of attempts, and then Fishuba and Fuji. And on to the women's, and confirmation again, Noguchi, complete top all the way through, 4 out of 5. Fanny Guibert, well, that's a great performance from her. For somebody who's, you know, she's not really made many finals. It's her first final in her 9th World Cup, and she's taken the silver medal, and then Anna Stur in bronze medal. Final thoughts, Alex?
And I'm super proud and really excited for Megan. 4th place in her 2nd World Cup ever. She's 16 years old. This is an amazing experience. To be the only American in finals, I think, is really impressive. Akio dominated the floors, but my heart and my biasness is with Megan, and she should be really stoked for how she did.
Right, well, we're gonna go mobile now. So, Alex, lovely, you head off into the Vail night, and I think we're going to see you out there doing a presentation shortly.
I think so.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what, but
I don't know how you did that all of a sudden.
I'm giving away a fat check.
Good
Thanks
on you.
again. See ya.
Take care. Thank you, Alex. Lovely to have you on board, Alex. Now, we're just going to go out. I'm going to go mobile, and I will be speaking through our mobile camera to you. And there is a presentation taking place very shortly we'll be covering, so we'll be back very soon.
DJ AJ, we love you, dude. They have some great stylings of your music. Yeah, that's right. DJ AJ's got a posse right over there. You guys are the partiers, aren't you? Right? The super partiers right there. I'm gonna say hello to them right now. Because, hey, super partiers, I've got some great tickets for you right now. Super partier guys. Let's go, drop them. These are good. For the after party, right here that Native Eyewear is putting on. Super stoked, right here. Super stoked, guys. Yeah. Share those right there. Well done, guys. We love your love. It's the Native after party. It's at 10 p.m. at Vendetta. Get for one drink. Courtesy of love and joy right there. Yeah, Adam Marker. We love you, dude.
It's okay, you followed up.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Scott, just before we do our award ceremony, and many of the shirts up here, Climbers Against Cancer. What a great thing to be against. I'd like to introduce Debbie Belrich, who is the Vice President of the International Federation of Sport Climbing.
presentation very shortly. And as you can see, there are quite a few people. If we just look out here, we can see that quite a few people have headed off, but there's quite a lot of people staying behind for the medal ceremony, and they're just getting ready any moment now.
We're going to be working on our awards ceremony here. It's the International Federation's Boulder World Cup Awards. Okay, it's my pleasure to announce the results of the 2014 Women's IFSC Bouldering World Cup. Are you guys psyched to get these results or what? Yeah! It's so great to be here. You guys did a great job. Okay, presenting the bronze medal will be Debbie Orange, Vice President of the IFSC. And winning the bronze medal is Anna Stor, competing for Austria. There she is. Another applause for Anna Stor. All right, and winning the silver medal is Vail, competing for France. All right, Annie. Yeah. We love to see the joy, right? Can we hear those smiles and laughter? Make some noise, please. Okay. And winning the gold medal, flashing every problem that's ever been created in the history of the World Cup, is Akio Noguchi, competing for Japan. Excellent work, Akio Noguchi. Such a pleasure to watch her climb. Okay, and presenting the Gerber Golden Axe is Marco Solaris, President of the IFSC. Please, the Gerber Golden Axe. Marco. I know, right? That is the coveted award right there. To Akio Noguchi. There you go. Her first ever Golden Axe right there. Make sure you don't put that in your carry-on. Oh, yeah. Holding it proudly up. And please, a round of applause while cheering and screaming! this guy. What a class act. Ongoing praise and adulation. We really love his mom, Annalie, too. Okay, we're the silver medal competing for Team France. Guillaume Clario Munde. Gigi. Yeah, give it up for Gigi. Look how stoked this guy is. With hair like that, I'd be stoked too. Yeah, Gigi. Yeah, super stoked. And winning the gold medal and climbing for Team Russia, Dmitry Sharafunov. Yeah. Dmitry. Make some noise for these champions. And now to present the Gerber Podium Acts, Debbie Gorich, Vice President of the IFSC. All right, Dimitri. Yeah. Don't bring that to the party tonight. Keep that in the hotel room. Get some shots here. And please, a round of applause for our three athletes right there as they share that top podium space. Okay, and now Marco Scolaris, President of the International Federation of Sport Climbing, would like to make an announcement of the IFSC's valiant effort to get climbing included in the Olympics. Are you psyched to hear about that? Who wants this to be in the Olympics? Please, Marco Scolaris.
I want to be optimistic. We still hope to be included in the Olympic Games program, but the nice surprise is that this year we'll be part of the Youth Olympic Games. Actually, the International Olympic Committee decided in December 2013 to create a place called the Sport Lab. The Sport Lab will display 4 sports that are not in the Olympic Games yet. One is Wushu, which is quite popular in China, and the Youth Olympic Games will be in Nanjing in China this year. The other one is quite popular in the youngsters, is skateboarding. The third one is speed roller skating, and the first one is actually quite popular here, as well as sport climbing. So this for us, of course, is a great recognition of the effort and recognition of the growth of the sport. And of course, we hope that this will help definitely our sport to get into the Olympics. So
questions over here at the booth for the IFSC. So please, media, if you have any questions, Marco will be presenting and answering those questions over here at the booth. Thank you so much. All right, that brings tonight to a wrap. Thank you a ton for being here. I am Timmy O'Neill signing off. Getting ready to go party over at Checkpoint Charlie. And thank you to DJ AJ as well. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow night bright and early.
Excuse me.
So they're going with the big screen. Can you leave the big screen on, please? We're using this as our viewpoint.
Don't turn off and go home.
We're still live.
Johnny, he's turned the big screen off. I don't know what's going on. Just tell me when you are. Dmitry Shofudinov, what a performance today. You were looking so strong.
Yeah, I feel so good. I think now I have a very good shape, and everybody today see like my good climbing. I'm happy.
Yeah. All 4 problems. You were the only person to do all 4. And we missed you in Toronto last week. Why did you not make Toronto?
Oh, it's a bad story. Canadian visa very hard. I need 1 or 2 months for take my passport. I can't. I need my passport for other visa.
Yeah.
And,
It's tough, I understand, because sometimes you need your passport to travel, not to leave with the visa people. Well, Dmitry, you've got Vail to come up, and of course the world rankings are going to be very tight now with you and Kilian, and of course Jan Hoyer, who didn't make it for the final, and then the World Championships in Munich. You are the current world champion. Your form is very good. So, are you happy that you're going to be strong in Munich?
yeah, for this competition I have a special program, and I think this competition was like a repetition for World Championship in Munich.
Right. Well, Dmitry, safe journey home. Congratulations. A brilliant performance.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Fanny Gibert, great to see you. Congratulations. You're so young. This is only your 9th World Cup, and here you are with a silver medal. You must be very happy.
Yes, I'm so happy. It's just amazing. I can't believe it. I came here and it was already amazing to be in final. That's my first final, so I came here and I'm just thinking of well climbing in the Boulder, and I didn't expect it this rank. It's crazy.
It's a great performance, and over the years of the history of top French climbers, there is a lot on your shoulders to live up to for past amazing climbers we've seen from France. That must also give you a lot of energy for the future.
Yeah, of course, the French team is a great team, and we're training hard, and it will be cool the year going. And
that's okay. Don't worry. I understand that English is not your first language, so that's no problem. You had 2 French girls in the final, and Melissa Lenave wasn't there. So, you know, you do have a very good team.
Yeah, it's really a good team, and all the French girls help me and push me. It's the level in France, it's really hard, so it's cool to train with her, and that's nice.
Well, Fanny, congratulations. Great performance today. Lovely to see you on the podium, and yet again, another young athlete who we're going to see a lot more of in the future. Well done.
Thank you very much. I'm so happy.
Enjoy the evening. It's a good night to be in Vail tonight for the party.
Yeah, I love Vail.
Okay, safe journey. Thank you.
Thanks, bye.
Anna Sturr, great to see you here with a medal around your neck. Last time I saw you, you weren't very happy, didn't qualify in Toronto, and you were very unhappy with your problem one. Your problem one let you down here a bit today.
Yes, that's true. I don't know what happens with my problem. With my number ones, but I know that I could have done it, and I'm super happy that I was able to hop onto the podium since that was a close call as well. And I had a good time climbing here.
It was incredible. We were saying in commentary with Alex Johnson that when you fail on a problem that you know you should have got, because we could see that you obviously had it in you, but something went wrong at the end. And is it really difficult to then pull yourself up off the floor to know that probably the gold is gone, but you can fight for a lower medal?
I didn't think about the gold so much, I have to admit, but it's definitely easier if you have a good start. I mean, if you do good on 1 and 2, then you're confident, you know that you can do it, and it was harder to get back for sure, but I was happy to climb in front of this crowd, and it's good to be in finals.
I've got to say, Vail is an amazing place, isn't it? Innsbruck was incredible on its own, but Vail, has different aspects, but how big was that crowd there today?
Yeah, definitely. They were cheering very hard, and therefore I have to say a big thank you to all the Americans who cheered very loud. It definitely helped.
Well, great stuff, Anna. Brilliant performance. We'll see you in Laval in a few weeks' time, yeah?
Yeah, but first it's Haiyang.
Oh, of course. It's China. I'd forgotten all about it. Excuse me. Pardon me, China. Well, congratulations, Anna. You pulled out a medal from nowhere there. Some superb performances towards the latter end, and well done.
Thank you.
So I'm with Akio Noguchi, with your axe as well. If we can just have a look at the axe. There we go. Just point that camera down a little bit, and there you go. Isn't that beautiful? Is that solid gold? Maybe not, but maybe gold-plated. Akio, we were looking through the records. You seem to be topping everything at the moment. Your form is amazing. How do you do it? Have you just been doing extra training, or do you just feel everything has come together, that your body, that you're totally in charge?
Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but I'm too focused and too exciting. It's an awesome day.
Yeah, it's an amazing day. We were looking at problems 3 and 4, and problems 3 and 4 have a lot of power. And we were saying, we were in commentary with Alex Johnson, we said, well, we know Akio Noguchi is a very, very good climber, but does she have the power? And you just absolutely, those shoulders have got a lot of power in them, haven't they?
Yeah, I think so. So, when I was first time to join the competition in the World Cups, I don't have so much power, and I'm not good for the US competition. Yeah, but these days I'm big growing, I think. Yeah.
You certainly are a big girl. And, you're right. Alex Johnson was saying that the Noguchi who came here in 2008, you were much younger, you were much slimmer. Now you're really strong.
Yeah, I remember that I can't go into the final, but now, yeah.
Now you're winning gold, and you reach every problem in qualifying, semi-final, into the same in Toronto. It's amazing. You seem to have set a new level for the other climbers to look up to.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's a good problem to have. And finally, for our Japanese friends, because I know there's a lot of Japanese people out there, would you like to say something, straight to the camera to our friends in Japan?
From Japanese?
Yeah, in Japanese, please, just to say something back to your friends and family back home.
先週に引き続き優勝できてまだ信じられません。人生でもベストなクライミングができた日だと思います。応援ありがとうございました。Thank you so much for big audience.
Akio Noguchi, always lovely to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so there was Akio Noguchi, and I believe we just have 2 men to find. Gigi, we just have 2 minutes with you, very quick. Thank you. Okay, with me is Gigi Monde with another medal around. Not a gold this time. Tell us about problem 3.
Yeah, it's a slab, and this year I don't really like slab. And I did a small mistake with my feet. Seemed to me not possible. And so, yeah.
The competition is so close and so tight that just one small mistake can drop you down from, and at least you got a medal, like some other athletes who made one mistake, didn't even get to the final. It's that the semi-finals were incredible tough.
Yeah, in semi-final this morning, I slipped twice in one try and keep the hold. And if I failed, I would not be in final. So it's so close, and yeah.
Well, we said that earlier. We actually showed it on our show in the final. We said, look at this that Gigi did. If he'd have fallen, he would not be here. But I said in the interview with you in Toronto that French climbing had dropped a little bit, and so many others have really stepped up. But there's 2 girls in the French, and Melissa wasn't in the final, and you're doing it again for the men. And the French team are starting to come strong again in climbing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we are more and more strong people. So I think we are in the good way.
You're on the way up, as we say. Well, Gigi, great performance today. Well done, and thank you very much for talking to us.
Thanks to you.
Sean McCall, here we go again. I seem to talk to you a lot these days. Congratulations, you have another medal around your neck. Really good performance. How was the knee feeling? Because on problem 4, you look to be feeling it a little bit.
I was a little bit worried about it, more kind of just after the semifinal round. I had one of the Austrian physio take a look at it for a while, made me stretch it, I iced it, took some Advil, and then he put some tape on it, so I was good in my head, and I was mostly worried about if it was really going to hurt on the problem. So I came out hoping there was no left foot heel hooks. There was. So I was really not motivated to compete in the finals before going out. I figured I would just kind of go out, and if it hurts, I would probably, take it pretty easy, kind of stop. And none of the problems were too aggressive on the left heel. There was a left heel hook on the first problem, but it was up near the top, and the last move wasn't too aggressive on that heel hook, so it was okay. Number 2, again, it was a jump. And number 2 was the reason I actually fell on the last move. It's because I didn't want to put my left heel up there just in case. Fell, and then I was like, no, I got to do it. And I figured I would try it. If it hurts, I'd jump off. And I got up there, and it felt okay. And I managed to find that small undercling, which made me just solid on the move. And then I was okay. Third one, again, is kind of a jump. And now we're on 3 boulders, but it's kind of hurting. After the third one, it was pretty sore. But luckily on the 4th one, there was no aggressive heel hooks. So, I felt good. I tried it pretty well, but in the end, I just couldn't do it.
Sean, you're an interviewer's dream. You've just covered about 4 of my questions there. All I said was, how are you doing? Well, my only other question that you haven't covered is, how exciting was it in front of this big crowd, giving you, you're with a local man. There was no American here, so you were their man, and they were really giving it for you today.
That's exactly how I felt. I mean, I knew that once there was no U.S. men in finals, well, I hoped they'd be cheering for me, and I could really feel it. I'd come out, the crowd was really into it, and I even did like, come on, I really need help, because I actually thought on the last.
Okay, apologies for that. We're back with Sean McCall here. People are in D-Rig mode here, and somebody just pulled the power for our little wireless camera going back. So sorry. But I'm sure you caught all 4.5 minutes of Sean's first answer. But the next question really was about being here in Vail and having the American fans really giving it all for you, as there was no American in the final.
Yeah, like you said, there was no U.S. men in the final, and I could feel when I came out for the presentation that now they were rooting for me. So I came out, and every boulder I did a little wave, and I could feel the energy from the crowd. And on the last boulder, I even was like, come on, I really need this. On the last boulder, I actually thought I was coming out for the win. I thought Dimitri hadn't completed the boulder, so I thought he had 3 and whatever faster than me. So I thought if I did the boulder, I won. So I went out with that mentality. It's a great mentality to have. Couldn't do the boulder. It's all part of the game. And then I wasn't sure if Guillaume had done it either, but I knew already I was on the podium, which is a nice thing. And if I would have done the 4th boulder, I would have moved up a spot, which is nice. Didn't. But I'm really happy with my podium finish.
And your performances have been fantastic as well. Just one final thing about being here in Vail. People are heading off into the night now. They're going back to the chalets. They're getting changed for the evening. This has been the headline act here in Vail. Everybody's coming rammed into the square, and it must be great for you personally that this is what bouldering is about, international level. You've got family, kids, all enjoying watching you, and you've been the headline act.
Oh yeah, it's great. I mean, like I said, when I was looking out, I could see families, couples, singles, like everyone. And I've made finals the last few years I've been here, and this is the first year they moved it back to this place right beside the village. Last time it was over in the parking lot, and I came out and there was, I think there was 2 or 3 times the amount of people out there, which is great. And people just walking by, oh, what is this? Oh, it's a World Cup climbing competition. It's the finals. Like, of course I'm going to stop and watch this. So it's really been great.
Well, Sean, it's been great having you here, and thank you very much. And see you in Haiyang in China.
I will be in Haiyang, and I'm going to do all 3 disciplines.
You are joking.
No, 3 days, 3 disciplines.
What's your best time for speed?
8.83, 8.79 in training.
Man, that is actually very good. You're not one of these walkers that go up the speed and just do it. You're competing. Well done, mate. All right, Sean, see you in Haiyang. I'm going to be watching on my screen, and I'm going to want to watch you doing speed. That'll be great.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Okay, well, as you can see behind me, it's pretty deserted out there. There was a few thousand people earlier. There's a few. Oh, Killian's still down here. Hello, Killian. Sorry, we didn't interview you today. There's lots of few strangers out there. Hello, everybody out there. The last few people are left. We're live. Yeah, hello to everybody in Australia. And here we are live to the world. There's probably a fair few thousand of you still watching, because I know some of you like to hear all the interviews. But hello, everybody. And we're going to say goodbye. Everyone's heading into the night. We've got to do lots of work ourselves and get ready and pack away. We're off back to the UK tomorrow morning. I really hope you've enjoyed watching the coverage here. Great thanks to Alex Johnson. She was absolutely superb on commentary, as ever. And what a competition we've had. The semi-finals gripping throughout, and so were the finals. You know, even Sean McCall, you know, everybody's going for a medal right up to the very end. We've had a great time. Hope you have, and we'll see you in Haiyang in just a few weeks' time. I'm Adrian Battersby. Thanks to Johnny, thanks to Mike on the mobile camera, whose shoulders are dropping off, and we'll see you again in Haiyang soon. Thank you very much. Goodbye for now.
Raven's been a big supporter of the gnarly climbing lifestyle.